probably cut that down a bit. There you go. I haven't even started the fucking fans, let alone got that car going. Oh yeah, I know that one. Waiting for the God, what was it 3-minute mark, 4-minute mark? Can't be on in a moment. Well, a few moments. I hope that level is enough to actually kind of quell the fan noise a bit. I haven't even gotten a cigar started. Nice and toasty as far as I'm concerned. When I got through the front doors here. Nice to have, man. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but one of the things I notice about this place from the get-go is, hell, it wasn't what I thought it was, but as far as this area goes, even better. Evening. Now, I go through a lot of different names. You guys can give me shit for that if you want. And by the way, I mean, I wouldn't even really put up a fight as far as that's concerned. Because you'd be right. I've been trying to figure out what to call this damn show. Oh, Gisbert Toro, that's what this cigar is. I have not had a Gisbert yet. So this will be interesting. Who knows how long this will last? It's a bit longer than the one I had last night. Which that show, hopefully I'll be able to get it up tomorrow. We'll see. Again, moving away from WordPress because they have made it a royal fucking pain in the ass to actually upload audio. You can do video, you can do pictures, and that's no fucking problem. You try to upload an MP3, it's like, seriously, guys, what the fuck? I know there's other people that, you know, they use WordPress for their podcasts and all that stuff. You know, written word, I guess, well, that's how I got my start here. Writing articles and shit. People never listen to anyways, and they don't listen until they kind of have to. And that's just how things usually go. Let's get this sparked up. Fabrica de Tobaccos? I don't know what that means. Fabricated by something? I'm going to plug this phone in. I don't know why it's the battery so low on it. I don't know what the hell it was doing in the background. Maybe I was being tracked or something. Wish this phone, it does have my legal stuff on it, so I don't know. Maybe FBI was looking at me for some reason. That's too much. There we go. That looks good. Another benefit of us just starting out the way I do. The way I have the fucking Bacon Flames avatar up. This was a little more difficult to light, which means usually that means, as far as my experience goes, that's going to last longer or be more pain in the ass. Who knows? Benefit in starting to show the way like that I do is that I get to test audio and stuff. We have the audio, and you guys can see that right now. basically, you could see when someone's talking, it does a little, not echo, but whatever, the kind of pulse thing outside the avatar. God, I mean, that's something, I've gotten used to seeing over the months that I've actually been on YouTube. Oh, it is a hot charge, so we're good. I wonder which government agency is looking at me. Yes, I'm rocking a different hat. It seems to be helping. Kind of wonder what it looks like with just this off. Turns out a white hat, not exactly the best to have in a place with this much fucking light. Jesus, this track I'm gonna end up having to play. I'm gonna have to do a lot more volume checks here. Looks like the ads are gone. Whatever. Roll what we got. Hope everybody's 2021 is going well. At least those of you who decide to listen to the program. This particular hat, in case you want to know, I actually talked a little bit about that today. This hat I got, it was part of my uniform, and they let us keep at least some of it. This is a spring gear part of it. This comes from Mammoth Mountain. If you guys can see that. That's their logo. So if you ever see a logo, that they've been to Mammoth Mountain or they're from there. First job I ever held, moving out of Inglewood. Do you remember it did pay more than minimum wage? It was still a 10 or not 10, but the W-2 job. I out there. It even says lift crew in the back. Yeah. Remember Hot Rush? She worked in the ski rental shop. They will rent out skis and boots and snowboards and boots and whatever else you needed to go skiing and snowboarding out there. I got to try quite a few things for free, actually, because of her. Bump that up a little bit. Yeah, I figured this would actually be a better fit. Well, you guys have seen it before. I'm not gonna go look for it. It's the it was a hat I got. It was from the Tiger Bar Cafe. So I worked at Mammoth Lakes, but we lived in June Lake. It's about 20 miles away. Via the roads. And Tiger Bar is the other place I worked at, and that ended up being one of the highest paying jobs that I had. Minimum wage plus tips, and people fucking tip, man. So that was a white hat that I would usually wear, and that's the one that's in little graphic that I had made. Well, that's gonna be what, if I'm in the field or something. I'll wear that instead. Oh. Nice to have different hats. Actually, I'm gonna get another one. Look up the band called The Failsafe. They have pretty good music. And Rob of RobSays.net, they're the ones that turned me on to him. He's had, some of the bandmates, and then Kyle Thomas himself, like I think he's the lead guitarist or something. He's had him on his show. He frequents like the Red Evening, Jack Napier's thing, Red Evening on YouTube. Jack Napier Knows, I think, is his YouTube handle. But no, good shit. I want to actually get some of their merchandise, and let me get a shirt, a tank top like the one I'm wearing now. This is why I don't mind sideline the Tiger Bar hat for now. I'm wearing a Tiger Bar tank top. I got a lot of Tiger Bar merchandise. Hats, hoodies, shirts, tank tops. I might wear my purple tie-dye one for fun. That alone, that's its own fucking story. This is getting plugged up quite a bit. Now, my mouth shouldn't be that fucking wet that that's happening. There's something to push this out with. Shit. Huh, yeah, there we go. Hold the thermometer. You're not a pussy if you use a thermometer for your meat. I would recommend that. I would recommend you do that as well. Okay, there was like 5 or 6 of them in here. Well, that's what's going on. Just got plugged up or something. There we go. See how it is now. A little bit better. All right. Yeah, those are the 2 main jobs that I had, finally moving out of the house. Maybe not exactly on my own because, the Hot Russian X was there. And good on her. I'll say at least there she held her own. She had a job. She contributed to the rent and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I kept those hats because, it's kind of a reminder. These are the hats that I wore. These are the hats that are representative of the jobs that I've done. Talking about a man that wears many hats. I kept them. I even have a hat from the job that ended up talking about this today. It was a job that got me off my my father's couch and, into my own goddamn place. To the point that, I was able to deck it out pretty much the way that I wanted it to. It's after midnight now, and now people are tuning in. Okay. Just explaining the hat thing. Master Splinter. Hey, Splinter! Dude, I didn't know you had a, well, I should have known you had a YouTube account. I'll first chat. There we go. If you want to jump in, man, feel free to. I haven't talked to you in forever, man. Dude, how you doing? Dude, you want to know what? I'm glad he's here. In case anybody was wondering, we used to do a thing called End Times Report. Well, we still do the End Times Report, but I actually used to have panel people in like a private chat, you know, that I would record and then I'll put on the website. By the way, website, in case you are wondering, if you're new here, the website is thegoddamnbacon.com. We used to do kind of like a private chat or whatever, and it's kind of like this, you know, I'm talking to you, but you know, it's just me here, like no hat, no sunglasses, whatever lighting I had available. And there was one chat, I think it was me and Nick, we were just on and talking about shit. And then Splinter fucking joins. And literally the first fucking things out of his mouth was like, hey, it's 4 a.m. Time to start drinking again. I actually had that thought today. If you want to join, go right the fuck ahead. But, all right. Can't while I'm sleeping for COVID shoot. Oh, Jesus. She work like as a nurse or something? I would though if I could. Hey, you're always welcome here, man. No, you're good people. Definitely. Yeah, you ever want to join the stream and talk and all that stuff, you know, you feel more than welcome to. Coach, I'm gonna guess she's like a nurse or something. All right, where's your drink? This is what I'm working on right now. This has been something that's been flummoxing me for the past few weeks that this has been available. There's just market out here. Yeah, there's a lag or something. Okay. Or it might be me that has a lag. Usually it's on my end. Now, this is by a brewery. It's called St. Archer's. Now, if you look closely, I'm still getting used to the video thing. You can see that it says California. Much like all the fucking license plates has been showing up here in Washington State. But if you also look closely, it's a Mariners IPA. Mariners are, you will know them as the Seattle Mariners. So why a California brewery is making a beer for fucking Seattle, I don't know. St. Archer's is fairly decent, though. But literally, this is a 16-ounce tall boy. You get a six-pack of these at the local Star Super Saver. That's actually a pretty big chain up here in Washington State. I don't know if it's anywhere else. You can get that for $4. Beer has COVID, probably. Dude, you know what? Just because you're here, I'm going to give you an inside scoop and that kind of dovetails into my day today and kind of things I wanted to talk about. So we did have Christmas, and I don't have any problem talking about that anymore because if the real lockdowns and if the police are actually going to enforce the fucking lockdowns, I would have known about it. I took the measures I did during Thanksgiving, you know, the Faraday bags and all that shit. Got dropped a few miles from the actual destination that I was supposed to go to and all that. And it worked. I even kind of did it for Christmas. But I wasn't too worried about Christmas. The kids say hi, by the way. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, okay. The goddamn bacon, apparently PG-13 friendly. No worry, I'm not going to talk about anything really graphic here or anything. But, you know, we had Christmas, and, you know, I went to go visit the folks. It wasn't that big of a get-together, much like most other places. And, you know, that was fine, but I still remember my mom. I don't even care. What are my moms? Let's just put it that way. She's mom-in-law, but you know what? She's been good enough to me. She's a good person. I don't care what it is. Family's family. It doesn't matter whether you were born with them or not. But we had a pretty good time. I made, what was it? I still have a bag of it. I still have some left. Screwball candied bacon. My best creation to date. So got it right there. None of them were feeling good, and they made the emphasis. Look, basically they were saying they weren't going to be able. Usually they would drive you back home because those parties they usually end early because that's just how they live their lives, and I understand. You're good. All right, cool. I don't have anything graphic to say tonight anyway, so don't worry about that. Or at least if I did, it's not planned. But so the show. I might do that. I thought of actually making a fucking candied bacon sampler pack. So all different flavors, The original Regal apple candy bacon, just regular candy bacon, maybe come to think of it. Coffee candy bacon, vanilla. What was it? Crown Royal. I'm gonna do this because one of the officers, one of the Leos I used to talk to, who would pick up an extra shift doing Walmart security. He swears by the Crown Royal vanilla. I have yet to try it, but that's definitely on the list. Just saying. The graphic just saying that's the first. Don't worry, I'm sure something's gonna sneak itself in there. But no, and I did the peach bacon. That's what I did. It was Jim Beam peach I used. I did that for Thanksgiving. That turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I use 2 minutes, I guess, supposed to control your podcast. I don't know. It could just be my fucking forever going technical errors. Oh, now I know the fucking why it looks so bright here. Hang on, I'll be right back. God damn it! I forgot to turn that fucking light on. That's why it looks so damn bright. Getting shit figured out here. That's better. I think having a black head instead of a white one helps too. Hey, did it just get dark in here? I need to put that fucking little ornament for this string for the light on. So I was gonna save that for last. Actually, where the fuck is it?
Geico makes the claims process so easy. I can manage my claim.
Wait, who's Geico?
It's not just easy. It's giving your dog your fitness tracker easy.
Your dog has your fitness tracker? Okay. That's what we're doing for insurance here? All right.
Fast and convenient claim service.
The clips have ads. Where's Nick? I don't know. Here's the thing about Nick. So he lives in Pullman now because that's where he goes to college. Because I don't know. He makes more doing his marketing thing. By the way, NickSchuhlaner.com. SEHULANER.com. He makes more doing his marketing thing that his starting salary would be doing mechanical engineering. I think that's what he's majoring in. But he's still going to college. Why? I don't fucking know. Maybe that's just what he wants to do. Maybe it interests him. Maybe he's being paid to do it. Who knows? Whatever. Let him do what he does. But his folks actually live in a town that's pretty close to where I used to actually live. Still ain't that far away now. So he visited out here for the holidays, visited his folks. I haven't heard from him since then. I'm going to assume he's spending a lot of time out there. Whatever, that's fine. I'm gonna assume he's probably headed back to Pullman at this point. We flew a Drew, or well, okay, he's not driving because fucker doesn't. I don't think he has a car. Mr. Latest fuck combos, drinking together, me playing Call of Duty, talking shit. Yeah, I do too. I like that. That kind of, the private end times thing. That's why I started it. In case anyone's new to the this program, here's what the end times report was. I'm going to get to my featured beer here in a moment. Here's what it was. Look, it's when the lockdown started. The bars were closed. The restaurants were closed. If you went to clubs for whatever fucking reason, those were closed. There was nowhere to go and actually meet other people. So what I did, I would usually go out at least Friday and Saturday nights, just to go talk to people in whatever capacity. But that wasn't on the table anymore. And a lot of us, wherever the fuck we were all kind of in the same boat. So what I did was I made the fucking online group, and that kind of just spontaneously happened. I think me and Nick were on, I was at the local park, local at the time. I want to look it up now. The Auburn Environmental Park. That's where it was because it was down the street. It was a nice 10-minute walk away. So Nick will be there, Athen will be there, but I don't know. I think we were trying to get somebody else on, and I just made this big fucking group. And that's where I'll launch it. We had this big group of people that, would be like, and unlike the Laughter Humanity show, that's usually, it's broadcast live on Instagram as I'm recording it. You can only have one other person on at a time. That you can have like 5-6 people on. Rob was on there. Jack Napier was on there. Mary Jo fucking showed up. Chad Elkins was there a few times. Splinter himself, he's been there multiple times. This is a beer I got from a place called Bounty Kitchen. That's close to South Lake Union, but is also in. I don't know. It's like on the cusp between South Lake Union and downtown. It's by the White Lodge. It's called the White Lodge by Holy Mountain Brewing. Place I did want to visit at some point. It's a Belgian style white ale. Only 4.8 alcohol by volume. Yeah, can you guys see why I just did audio this entire time? Because doing video kind of fucking sucks. I had to stop when kids designated bedtimes for school. Okay, I gotta understand that. Well, a lot of people, they had other things going. No, maybe they had that's the reason, the group is still alive, both of them actually. But you know what? I understand people got other shit going on, so can't join. Oh God! After midnight here, I can only imagine what time it is there. I get it. Shit happens, and what had to happen, happen. Maybe it will come back at some point. Maybe it's kind of a semi-regular basis. I'd like to have that happen. That'd be great. Just talk to the guys or whatever. But, we'll figure it out within the coming months. Who knows? All right. One of a handful in MD. I assume that means Maryland. They go to an actual in-person school. Oh, shit. All right. First stream, you were Dark except for your cigar. Yeah, I think I had the lights off or something. Oh yeah, you're right. Because I was in the park. I had the camera on because Instagram Live, you can't just hang on. Camera on in the back. There's no option to have the camera off. Now if you're doing like a private chat like with the group or whatever, you can do that. And that's what I would do, if I had to go pee or something like that. Yeah, that was what was different with that. Move to Parler. I'm on Parler. By the way, they've been having issues, but I am on there. I actually talked to a few people today. One of them we'll be talking about later. You can find me on there at the goddamn bacon. Same as the Instagram. So if you haven't found me on there, I do. I was actually active on there today. I'm usually not that active there all that much. Just like most alternate things, I focus more on the mainline stuff. Maybe I should be focusing more on some of the alternate shit. I have the backup Instagram channel. That's Laughter at Humanity. That's what it's called. Reasons call that should be obvious. Subbing now. Cool. Thanks, man. And I'll check either tonight or tomorrow. I'll see if I can find you on there. I'm going to assume Splinter's going to be the name on there, so shouldn't be too hard to find. It's not like I have a million fucking subscribers there. Or a lot of content. I think it was like 10 people that actually follow me on there, which are good people. Rogue of RoguePreparedness.com. Bullrush, Etsy.com /shop/Lazarus Razors. Starting to sound like the beginning of the Laughter Humanity show. That's where I usually would do all the plugs. I'm going to split those up, actually. Because now I have 3 different sections of things that I want to plug. I'll figure that out. Bullrush, I'm going to be getting one of your razors within about a month or 2, just so you know. So look for at least like a private DM, or I'll text you or something like that. I'll figure out how to pay you and get that shipped out here. I actually do have a pretty good foil shaver since my old one kicked the bucket about a week or 2 ago. And it's working pretty damn well. It's actually really nice one. But you know what? I definitely want to check that out. And it's been a long time coming. I should have gotten one. I just wasn't able to do it, I hope you understand. One reason I wanted to at least advertise your stuff. I just wasn't able to get it. I could definitely get one now, though. So if you're still listening, that'll be coming within the next few weeks or so. I've got other things I need to handle, but that's definitely something I definitely want. Should have supported the fucking I should have supported that cause directly since then. So I'm advertising the fucking product, so I should be able. I'm just going off of what everyone else has said about it. RobSays.net. He's had good things to say about it. Nick August of PunchRide.com. He's had good things to say about it. If I'm going to advertise a product, I really would actually like to have used it so I could say personally, I know it's a good product. I don't know what Splinter means by get active. I'll be getting active in the next few minutes. I've been taking the last couple weeks off. I want to get myself kind of down lower as far as fitness wise, because I want to see what this new diet will do as far as getting me maybe back to baseline, what I'm used to, and beyond. It's supposed to be the idea. You don't know this guy. This guy's name is Paul Saladino. He's actually he actually does have an MD. He's also this hardcore carnivore guy, and me and him have had fighting words because he's telling everybody that bacon and wings will kill you because of the what do you call it? Oh, he means Parlor. Okay, yeah, I'm getting more active on there, but let's just say I have my reason where I understand where he's coming from, but now we're getting past the law of diminishing returns as far as nutrition and dietetics goes. Like you handled all the major issues, but now you're hammering out all the fucking minor ones. But to be fair, I'm going to do a approximation of his diet, actually. I still need to do a little bit of research. Why? One of the reasons I've been putting this off. You know what? I want to make sure I get it as good as I can. I haven't gotten his book yet. I will actually get it just to support him. Because he does put a lot of good information out there. But I'll be doing my own kind of budget version of that. And it's just to see what happens. It's kind of for tomatoes. All right. If I'm going to talk shit about, I'm going to at least try his shit out. Let's see what happens. Who knows? Maybe I'll still have. I might end up looking, may end up having like a ripped fucking 6-pack and, actual bulgy muscles so Bull Rush doesn't just fucking call me like toothpick plays along with Joe Dolio over at tactical-wisdom.com. Maybe I'll get visible fucking results. Maybe I'll just get like magic hypertrophy. Who fucking knows? Not something I focus on, obviously. I focus on what you can actually fucking do rather than just looking the part. Hey, it'll be a fun experiment. I got a good spot where I can get, Jesus Christ, pretty decent quality actually steaks for the price. Real bang for the buck. So that's something I think I'll be starting, well, sort of tonight, actually. I was going to cook. The only thing I had here, and the other reason I was holding off on that, I had all this other food here. Open packs of bacon, some wings that have been sitting around for a couple weeks in the fridge. No, I didn't want that stuff to go to waste. So I've been eating that stuff and sort of an operation eat like shit like I did about a year or two ago. Where I ate my approximation of shit, nothing too crazy, not like the standard American diet. But I guess my kind of version of it. Where the whole goal was to put on extra weight and fat and stuff just to burn it off again with another diet. Sort of did the same thing, but it was just so that food wouldn't go to waste. What I was supposed to be cooking in the oven tonight was a Cornish hen that was like stuffed with dressing or stuffing. The name changes depending on where you're coming from. My family always used dressing because they came from Mississippi and they moved to California. Maybe stuffing where you are. I don't care what you call it. I got bigger things to fucking fight about. It's just a name. Use even interchangeably. Anyways, I went to pull that out and had a little bit of slime or something on it. I think the packaging got torn or something. I'm looking, I was like, you know what? I already have fucking seafood poisoning a couple years ago. And I'm not fucking risking this shit. So it went directly in the fucking trash. So now I have a steak sitting on the fucking the heat vent of the oven. Kind of defrosting. So we're starting this shit early. Sorta. More info on that coming soon. So I'm sure you guys saw the headline I put up there. It wasn't what I thought I was going to be talking about. One thing I did want to address, I'm going to guess people who are listening here, they're going to get this shit. This is for the people who maybe are listening to the replay. Maybe to come across this later. Okay. We're at the 45, 30 seconds mark. So I'll try to remember that. People apparently still need to fucking hear this. Now, I did a show, and I don't want to just... I want to spend maybe 5 minutes just on this particular subject. But I've come across... did you guys hear about what happened on the 6th of this year? 22? Not even a fucking weekend. We already got real fucking riots. And people have talked about this. I don't know if you guys heard about that or not. Not a bad beer, by the way. Pretty easy drinking. That's something Rob would probably like. Like it's a light beer, but it's got full body to it. Found me. At least I won't fall off a cliff fucking drinking this shit. I'm drinking this shit. It's pretty good. But yeah, there was the whole fucking thing where the Patriots, you know what? I gotta give them their fucking credit for this. And I've been doing that on Twitter, on Instagram, and I've been getting flack for that. And that's the reason I wanted to address this. First of all, you guys, if you haven't seen the article or the post that I put out, and there's audio to that, there's audio every 15-minute philosophy, just so you know. So you can either listen to it, you can download it, or you can read it. I make it pretty accessible for you to actually get the info that I'm trying to put out there. But that post is called 15-Minute Philosophy Patriot. Just go to thegoddamnbacon.com, type in Patriot in the search bar. Pops right up. Now, I've made the comments, and I've done it before. Joe Dolio has done it before. Bull Rush has done it before. Rob has done it before. We all talked about how all these guys, they do nothing but fucking talking, but they never actually get to fucking, they never get to the doing part of anything. Like, it's all just fucking language. And that's a point that I've been making for the longest fucking time now. Yeah, okay, they actually fucking did something, whether you agree with it or not. Whether it was a good thing or not. At least they fucking did something. Now, the pushback I've been getting, I don't want to spend too much time on this unless somebody has something to say. Link is in the chat, by the way, in case you guys just scroll back up. If you guys want to join and talk about that or the main subject matter. Is that, you know, we need cooler heads to prevail. We need to have a, what do you call it? Like a peaceful solution on stuff. And I totally understand that. I understand where you guys are coming from. Be honest with you. It's the one that I want. But what I want and what's really going to fucking happen, two separate fucking planets. And again, maybe I'm the only one that's fucking noticing this, aside from the people who are here in the chat. And I'll point this out again. I did this in Wartime Mindset, you know, when Jack Napier was mad at me because I was talking about violence and shit. Because that doesn't happen in the fucking Netherlands, apparently. Look around you. Like, have you been paying attention? You've been called all kinds of different versions of the enemy that needs to be dispatched. I have screenshots now, and I wish they were my own screenshots. There's some comedian or something, Arthur something. I can't remember what the fuck it is. Some Chinese guy, some fat Chinese dude, who apparently is a comedian. But Jesus Christ, I saw what he was talking about with that that one chick that got shot by the feds in DC. Basically, he's saying, you know, like the Nazis, they're not considered people, and that's been a fucking term for the last 4 fucking years. In case you haven't been paying fucking attention. By the way, what are Nazis? Do you disagree with the left? Were you a leftist that disagrees with something some other leftist says? Congratulations, you're a fucking Nazi. In case you were wondering, that's the definition going right now. If you disagree with whatever the fuck they're pushing, you're a Nazi. I hope you fucking understand that. Hey, what are they calling for? God, I still remember it. What was it? The fatty tissue or something like that gets pierced by a bullet. You know, that's cleansing the world or some shit like that. And it gets even worse from there. Again, I wish I got the screenshots from that. The screenshots I got, I had to fucking ask for from other people who got them. I mean, that's bad enough. Trust me, it got worse. The reason I had to ask because I guess this fucktard realized how bad that sounded and just, you know, removed it. He blocked me online on Twitter, by the way. I didn't even address him directly, but he blocked me because I talked to somebody else about what they had to say about it. I'm going to imagine he did a whole lot of blocking, which I don't know how well that works for your comedy career if you're blocking everybody who disagrees with you. Okay. But that's not so. I've been hearing this shit for fucking forever. You're already being called the enemy. You're already being called Nazis. You're already being called not human. You're already being called anti-human. So all this bullshit, you know, where you're trying to like play egalitarian or you're trying to, you know, like, okay, let's go to negotiation. Negotiations have been off the table for fucking years now. And it's time for you to start fucking acting like it. Stop being fair. That's what your enemy wants. If you're being fair where your enemy is not, you lose. This is fucking wartime. So start fucking acting like it. You know, and I'm tired of having to fucking say that. I'm tired of having to point that out. Like, aren't you guys done fucking losing for once? At least they fucking did something. Again, I got pushback. It was like, oh my God, well, they're doing violence and maybe there's... First of all, the people who are actually breaking shit up there, they were the fucking Antifa infiltrators. And there were plenty of there's plenty of evidence out there that that's who they were. That Viking guy, he was a Black Lives Matter person. You know, the one that Elon Musk, I think he posted a picture of him or something. So even in that, you weren't fucking wrong. Do your fucking due diligence. Even, I'm not all that, what do you call it? I get corrected on the shit because I don't pay attention all that much. Because I got other shit to do. I got real world priorities to do. This shit does not affect me until it does. And so until it does, I got other shit to do. Hey, I thought it was the fucking Patriot mag assholes that were destroying shit. They weren't. It was the fucking same leftists that were started destroying shit since the beginning of June of 2020. I was on the ground, in case you forgot. I was on the ground when that shit started happening. When buildings were being burned down in Seattle, when it was raining cats and dogs outside. By the way, I will give them that credit. They managed to burn down fucking skyscrapers when it was raining outside. Whether you agree with them or not, that's pretty fucking impressive. You gotta hand them that. I didn't think it would happen because it was raining outside, but boy, fuck. You guys were there when the fucking alerts came through on my phone live while I was recording. It's like, Jesus. All right. Ray John's here. I'm a communist. Master Splinter. Fuck that. Pitchforks and torches. Oh, geez. That's coming. Trump supporters are planning to storm the Capitol on fucking social media. They've been talking about that shit for the longest time, and that was the you guys were all talk, okay? And up until that time, they were all fucking talk. So I don't care what you guys say. I care what you do, and god damn it, they fucking did. Not that I even didn't fucking agree with what they were doing. But you know what? They fucking did. They at least did something. That's what I wanted to focus on. Nick Fuentes was there. Not surprised. I think he lives in the area. Well, he lives in Chicago, I think. Well, a lot closer than Seattle, so. Whatever. Fuck it. At least they did something. And they weren't even fucking violent. The people who were violent were fucking leftists that infiltrated it. So even that fucking argument is like, really? The fuck? That was my whole point. And I went way over what I thought I was going to say about that. But guys, treat this as the fucking environment you're in. You're already being painted as an enemy that cannot be negotiated with and must be dispatched for the good of humanity. So fucking act like it. Question I want to have. You know what? Would you try to hear out the Nazis, what they had to say? Chances are most people say no. You can ask why, but it doesn't really matter. But you're being treated that way. So act like it. Splinter is using his Trump bucks to get a couple more pew-pews just in case. I don't blame you. If you can find it good, I would suggest more ammunition. But here's one thing that people usually overlook as far as that goes. How's your first aid kit looking? I talked about this today with a friend that I actually just I didn't hook up with, but we met up actually today. I went. You guys know my wallet ended up getting. I lost it, so effectively I had no money. I had to go get. Basically, it was a gift card that was going to go to my brother, but he's been under a fucking rock now. He's raising kids and stuff like that, so that's understandable. But he's been scared about this COVID shit. Kind of disappointing, but what are you gonna do? But I asked them if they had $100 that I could, I'll get my bank card back, or at least to get a new one middle of next week, and I can just withdraw like $100 or $120. I'll pay him interest and just give that to him, just to pay him back. But I ended up at an old friend's house that I ended up getting back in contact with. I hadn't talked to her in years. Thus, the title of this particular show. And when men and women be friends? Short answer, yes. depending on a couple things. But yeah, I ended up there a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I went and got that. But we actually talked about the. Actually, not her, but the folks we talked about that. Apparently, they got their Trump bucks. I haven't got mine yet. So I have to call. I'll have to either call back in or go on the website or something. Fuck it. Hey, it's your money back, so fucking take it. No problem with that. Laura says, dispatch these nuts. I have a few freedom seats, and my wife is a nurse. LO5 pound sign of boo-boo strips of freedom seats. I don't know what freedom seats is, but okay.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fence.
I don't know what I'm going to assume he's got a good first aid kit. So, okay, cool. The reason I brought that up was, that's what I talked about with my buddy. I just got back. That's another Geico ad. I just got back in touch with him. Hadn't seen about like 10 or 12 years or something. Yeah, we talked about that because we both kind of actually work in the same area. Turns out. First thing that people will call out, when these fucking retards over in the Chaz area were shooting themselves, like called out for they didn't call for more ammo. They called out for a medic. They called up for medical services. So that's why I bring that up. Joe Dolan brings that up a lot too. Kind of more important. Doesn't cost as much either, especially these days. When are you coming to Texas so I can give you a proper beat down? Me or Splinter? What's her name? Mary Jo, who's in San Antonio, not Houston. She's got a new boyfriend or something, so that's going to be a minute. Oh, wouldn't mind visiting Houston, though. From what I hear, you guys got a lot of good restaurants there, just like we do here in Seattle. With the waistline to show for it. That would be an interesting face-off, actually. They blow us. We did a show. What was it? It was an Asshole Consulting request that Aaron had gotten talking about. What was it? Some guy wanted 5 different martial arts to study, and Cappy didn't have that because all he did was like some sort of jiu-jitsu or something. But I have several disciplines under my belt. There were several other people. There was Joe, there was Drew Bay, Bay.com, by the way, and Bull Rush. He went through the McMac program. I think he's got to instructor level. But the other two weren't there, but Bull Rush showed up, and hopefully he got his fence put up. I think that was the issue he was having at the time, and it was hurricane season when we did that. But he talked a lot about McMap, and I've read into that. It's a pretty good, solid program as far as I could tell. They do a lot of. If there's a difference between actual, a martial arts program that incorporates different martial arts into one program, and then there's mixed martial arts. Let's just put it that way. I think MCMAP, which stands for Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. That, from what I can tell you, again, we're talking about the fucking Marines here, so they kind of have to have that shit right. I think they fucking know it. Mine, my own, background, there's that too, and I brought a lot of that knowledge there too. Can't really do application over fucking YouTube, but there you go. Whatever. I think we answered that question, but no. Hey, if I was to trust somebody kind of on my side, like, we got to fight off 30 fucking people or something, you know what? I'd rather have Bull Rush on my side. I'll just put it that way. I'll take the first 20. He can handle the other 10 or something, you know. Fuck, I ran out of beer. Actually, no, I didn't. There's a little more. I might have to go grab some tequila. I guess to answer at least the fucking question. Well, yeah, one of the people that I met, I have not that many. Well, I don't have that many friends, anyways. At least the ones I see in person. Might end up hanging out with one of them today. I went to go pick up that gift card, so I don't know. I get gas so I can keep working. All right, Bull Rush meant me. Okay, fine. I don't know why he wants to fight me so much, but okay. I don't know. I guess I could take that as a compliment. Why would he want to fight somebody that he knows he can beat the shit out of? At least I'm kind of an unknown. I'll take that as a compliment. Clearly, I went to go visit the folks. They live not in the middle of nowhere, but way the fuck away from where they used to. That's fine. At least they've stopped moving around 400 fucking times. But at least they found a fucking place that actually they want to set roots down in. That's good. I got to hang out there, watch the fucking. It was a Seahawks game, and Seattle's go to Seattle. They made it to the fucking playoffs, only get knocked out in the first fucking round. They were kind of invested in it. I wasn't. I don't care. I'm just there watching it. It's just entertainment. It's just sports ball. I wish I could get that across, but what are you going to do? Ready for the blackout that's supposed to happen. What blackout? What, are they planning something for the 21st? Oh, God. What are you talking about? I'm all right, fine. He was talking about giving me an ass whooping, but then he backs out and says he's old. Okay. Are you still in your fucking 30s? So am I. I'd rather share a fucking beer, but, you know, whatever tickles your fancy. Whatever. I don't care. How am I hang out with you? Put it that way. I don't mind saying that. Good people's good people. Not just social, but nationally. Like an actual blackout or something? Is there something I'm missing here? I haven't been all that plugged into the politics shit. I have other shit going on. I had to fucking patch a roof, for fuck's sakes. So I've had real shit going on here. So I don't know. I just get what I kind of get passively off of fucking Twitter and maybe Instagram. Are they planning more shit? You know what? You guys fucking type that shit in. Hang on. I'm up to my nuts and fat chicks again. You know what? Nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Look. Most of the women in the fucking planet are fat these days, unless you go to Eastern Europe or not even Southeast, most of Asia, and some places in South America. Everywhere else, you're kind of fucked. All of us are kind of in. We're all in the first world. This literally is the first world problem of women being fat. So you do you, man. You do her. Go ahead. Hey, what? I'm gonna go take a piss and grab some tequila. I'm gonna make a margarita. You need to type in whatever the hell you were talking about. Clarify that in a moment. Aren't you guys play the music now? Shit, I think this is supposed to only be an hour. Shit. Apparently the bars and everything closed where everyone else was, so now they're here. Alright, whatever. That's all good. Everybody came back. Happy to have you back. Jeez, I don't have that much to do about it. Oh, here's my rocks glass. Once no. Yeah, parents always figured you were a divine entity. I would love to meet these parents. Yes, I do have parents. I don't know if I talked about them directly, but long story short, they both grew up in Inglewood. They met. I don't know if they got married or not. They had me. Father went to the, I don't think he got drafted, but he went to the Army, and they moved him up to Washington. He tried to get her to move up here, and she didn't want to, and that was that. That's what happened there. You play less homoerotic music. Fuck you. I'll do more research in what fucking music I want to download and play here. That's just what I got in the roster right now. Jesus Christ. Alright, any news on what the fuck that blackout was supposed to be? Whatever. Anyways. You guys get back to me on that. Because that would be news to me. Bull Rush doesn't know. I don't know. I actually was paying attention like on Parler and Twitter and all these other places. Parler's been having its fucking issues. Apparently, if you didn't get the app off of Google Play, you're not going to get it off of there. You can get it off of other places. Maybe Apple for the next 25 seconds. Yeah. That really does say something, you got to be doing something right if they're taking all these fucking steps and, trying to stop you. I'm not liking this cigar all that much. What was this, Gispert? It's all right. Gispert, that's what it is. Yeah. Name here. It's not bad, but I don't know if I'll get another one of these. Good enough for this stream, though. Mary Justice blacked out. Splinter says Rome and Pakistan had blackouts nationwide without explanation. I can kind of see that happening there. What the hell is this? Incoming video chat from Splinter. What the hell? What are you doing? Okay. I'm kind of curious to see what the fuck he's doing.
What's up, bro?
All right. Splinter is calling it from Instagram for some fucking reason. Even though the fucking StreamYard thing is right fucking there. Do I need to put it back in the chat?
Well, no, my chat was so lagged, I figured I'd just call and say hi.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's good, bro?
I'm just here doing a show. That's all. All right. I take anything you read on social media with a grain of salt. Yeah, you're right. Hell, a lot of what pretty much anything you read, as Boris said, take it with a grain of salt. No, he's totally right about that. Reyes says Parler is at the new right-wing circle jerk. I talked to some of the people who actually run Parler. I talked to them today because they're talking about they want to be inclusive of anyone who any political opinion or whatever the fuck you call it.
Free speech?
Yeah, exactly. But my thought was like, you know what? Twitter started the same way. Facebook started the same way. Instagram started the same way. YouTube started the same way.
Got too big. They got too big. They all got in the same money pit, and now they control all of Congress. So now they're the ones controlling what Congress is the ones controlling what big media does.
Well, fine. I mean, there's that, but you know what? The reason they're dealing with all this shit is because they let all their basically fucking enemies again. Look, this is fucking wartime. You don't let the fucking Nazis come in and start talking, into your own goddamn media.
Dude, they let the Nazis into this country back in like the 1930s. The socialist movement started in this country just after World War One.
You're not wrong about that.
No, I'm not. I'm not wrong. They used to call themselves the Marxist Party of America, and then they switched themselves, called themselves liberals, because liberal was more appealing to the populace.
No kidding. But
and that
all these labels and shit. 40s. My point, but that it just goes back to my point. Whatever. You're letting the fucking enemy in. Understand you're at fucking war, so start fucking acting like, why would you let these fucking people in? And they got back to them like, look, whatever. What the fuck was it? What did they say?
They're letting him in because they're getting mad loot from it. They're letting him in because.
So then expect your fucking party to die. Expected to fucking implode.
Oh no, I do. I fully do, and that's why I'm leaving Maryland. That's why I've armed up, and my typo earlier was meant to say I have lots of boo-boo strips, which is
got you. Yeah, it's okay. That's bad. Yeah, got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to go. My family's ready to go.
Good. At least you're on board.
This fucking house. But I finally got my brother out of California. Got him out of San Francisco.
Oh shit. He's not buddies with Juan Cabrera anymore?
He never was.
Really? Oh, he should have been. At least if he was going to be in the air, at least, be in contact with a good person.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, no. I told him to get... I misheard you. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
He was...
I have no idea if anyone can really hear you all that well, by the way. You should be able to. No, I have... Well... You're calling me on my. I'm talking to you on my other device that I was playing the music from on, and you're on. I have a speaker as far as that, so I don't know how well the other people can hear you.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I just want to call and say, man, I haven't talked to you in a little bit, and I'm sorry because kids' school and life and all that. And that's what I'm
Oh
saying.
no, I get it, man.
Where's your call tonight?
Look again. I talked about this earlier in the program. You know what? I miss having a bunch of the guys here just talking and sharing stories and what's going on here, what's going on there. Always kind of passing those together and maybe just talking and shit posting together and having just a good time there. I like that, and I'm sure you didn't. That's why you were there. But you know what? These things happen. You have things that come up. You have kids, I don't. So that's something that I can understand, but I can't exactly relate to, if that makes any sense. So you have priority. You got shit to do. And so I'm never going to hold that against anybody, when they have shit to do, so they can't fucking join the show or something, especially when it's happening this fucking late night, especially if you're on the fucking East Coast. I get it. I get it. It's understood. So no problem there. I mean, I'm happy to have you whenever you have time and you're available. But I'm not going to hold it against you if you're not. Just put it that way.
Well, yeah, I understand your movement. I understand that, the freedom of speech that you preach and freedom of life. And I try to be part of it as much as I can. So as long as I can be part of it, I am.
Sure. And look, if it's just me here doing this, and you guys tune in later, and that's fine. But when you guys want to tune in, I'm here. Now, how long that goes on, who knows?
I love you. I love you. You see it, but cheers, bro.
That Jameson?
No, it's Corona.
All right, that works too.
Nothing says America like.
Bull Rush is in the chat. Bull Rush, how it goes? I don't know if anyone will be able to hear you. I think it'll just be me. Well, they'll be here in YouTube's.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh shit! What's going on now? And
is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, they join. They go to the StreamYard link. Which, do me a favor, if you want to stay on, go on and do that. And hang on, Bull Rush.
I really can't. Hey, the kids want to say hi. Hold on, real quick.
Right.
Say hi to Bacon.
Kids want to say hi. Hey, how's it going?
Say hi, Bacon.
Hi, Bacon.
Hello.
That's my little boy.
Nice.
He thought the entire chat was hilarious. But hey, I don't know how to do this because I'm working on an iPad right now. I'll let you and Bull Rush talk. I just want to say hi. Thank you. Haven't heard from you in a while. It's great to hear from you again. And I'm glad I caught your live podcast tonight.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you were able to stop by, man. And, hope the move goes well, all that stuff. Yeah, just keep yourself well, keep it tactful, and all that other stuff. Keep yourself
in parlay. I sent you a hi.
Sweet. I'll check on that. I'll check on that later tonight, or tomorrow, depending. Cool, man.
I mean, say hi to Nick for me.
Will do.
Later.
Cheers. Be careful, my friend. All right. What the fuck is going on? Laura should mute it.
Yeah, I know. I was yelling at my dog.
What is? I don't know what's going on here. Hang on. I'm going to check my. Okay. All right, I'm back. I don't know why I can't hear Boris.
Who, me?
Well, I can hear you now, but it was going through the speak. It was going through the loudspeaker. I might just have to go with that. All right, it's showing that I'm connected again.
Oh, goody.
There we go. All right, we're back. Jesus fucking Christ. Hey. TC's happen. All right, fine. Dude, what's going on with you, man?
Who, me?
Yeah. No, Splinter was he was, for whatever reason, he wanted to call me over Instagram or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Whatever.
Tell him say hi to Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael.
Fair.
Oh,
I'm definitely. You know what? You were not wrong about. I wasn't expecting the flute music here, but okay.
yeah. It's a little weird.
It is. I wasn't expecting that. It was. What the hell is this file called? Classic of music for winter. I figured it was fitting because it's winter.
Sounds good.
All right.
Whatever.
Fine. Whatever. Helps cover the fan noise.
There you go. I can't even hear the fan, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't hear the fan. I never have.
Huh?
I think that's mainly you.
Well, okay. Well, the reason I just like having background music in the background. That's something I did with the Laughter Humanity show, and I just wanted to bring that here. But part of the reason I did that in the first place is back in the old place. I mean, the fans are a little bit farther away. They're, I'd say, about 2.5, 3 feet away from the mic here. But back in the old place, it was literally like right fucking here.
Jeez.
So, and that's what I'll use. I'll use it to drag the smoke away and all that stuff.
Right.
Amongst other things, you would use the exhaust fans for, like in a bathroom. That was the old studio, and so that's why I did that. Now, when I do spot checks here, make sure the mic is actually on. It's recording through the mic and not anything else. I'll check through a different app or so, usually the recording app, and I'll do things like I would take your earphones out real quick. Do that noise because the mic makes a specific noise when you're kind of fucking with it like that. And so that's how I know the mic is working. But when I'm doing that, you can hear the actual fans like through whatever app that is. Yeah. So I don't know what YouTube is doing or what Instagram does as far as audio processing, but that's good to know that the fans aren't being picked up. Which is good. That's the whole point of having the fucking mic. Otherwise, I would just use the fucking phone. This is what I do in the field.
That's nice.
Shit, I gotta figure out. Hey, you know what though? I'll tell you what. Again, as much shit as I get, I at least put in the fucking work to figure this shit out. But are you doing?
Oh, I'm putting beard oil in my beard so it doesn't get all dry and crusty, man.
Okay.
This stuff,
Probably something I should be doing.
the stuff I have right now is I got from my barber. He's getting into making that.
Huh, all right. Now that's something.
He hasn't started selling it yet, but when he
so he makes it himself.
yeah, he just started. When he starts selling it, though, I'm gonna plug the shit out of it.
Splinter got your reference, by the way.
Yeah, I see that.
How can someone not get that fucking reference unless they were like born? They're like literally like a late Zoomer or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Come on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, that's what I
Dude,
got.
they were the shit.
But yeah.
Oh man.
Man, I've been working on this goddamn coding test for this potential employer for the past 4 days.
You moving out of the other field we had talked about before?
What?
I mean, you worked was like kind of in the medical industry or something like that. Are you moving out of that industry or what?
No. I'm still doing the same stuff. That's it's just with a different company. I'm still doing like the medical coding and stuff. It's just so usually with coding, whenever you get hired, they have you take a coding test to make sure you know what you're doing. And she sent me the coding test, she sent me an email link to the test, and then she sent me another link for trial encoder, electronic encoder. Turns out that coder sucks ass. It's not worth the shit. So
did they know that beforehand, or did they kind of have to figure that out?
So I had to start.
Oh, Jesus.
That's just for diagnosis. I had to start coding out of our fucking coding book. Like this is
you could beat somebody to death with that. Jesus Christ.
That's just for diagnosis. That's not for procedures. Procedures is a whole nother book.
I can imagine. I mean, I don't know that much about coding aside from my own experiments, but you know, the professional shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, actually, that was the procedure book. This motherfucker is a diagnosis book. Look at that shit.
You could beat someone to death. You could beat someone to death quicker with that.
Look at that shit, dude. It's fucking insane.
Holy shit. You got to study all that shit.
Well, not really. We don't have to study it. It's just the diagnosis codes and stuff. The thing is now most hospitals and shit are electronic. We have electronic encoders that we work with. We don't work out of the book. No one's been working out of the book for like 20 years, man. But
probably a good thing.
Well, yeah, it's a lot faster. That's what I'm saying. Though I've got almost. She sent me like almost a near 60 question test where 2/3 of it is coding, diagnosis and procedures, and I have to do it out of the fucking book, man. I told her, I'm like, man, I'm not. She told me it's only going to take me a couple hours. I'm like, I called her back like 2 days. I called her back.
Looking at that, nah, I have my doubts.
I called her back 2 days later. I'm like, look, your encoder that you sent me is garbage, and I'm not even halfway through this stuff, man, because I'm having to code out of my books, you know, and she's like,
how did she take that? How did she take that particular revelation?
She knew. She knows. She told me she knows they know the encoder is not that great. I'm like, that's being generous.
Well, at least they said something.
And yeah, so
man.
I told her I was working out of my coding books instead, but it's going to take a while because, you know, books are doing it the old-fashioned way. It takes a minute, and I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it in like 6-7 years, so fuck them. And she said
And why would you?
Well, that's why I'm saying. I was like, no one does that anymore. You might have to go back to the books occasionally for reference reasons, you know, but not. You don't straight up code out of them the whole time. I mean, you can if you had to, but we have electronic encoders now. The biggest and best one so far is 3M encoder.
Okay.
And, that's the one I've been using for like years.
I know 3M by name. I mean, I didn't know them as far as coding goes. So I mean, that's
3M.
It's over my head.
3M is the same one that makes the Scotch tape and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you need to look.
No, I know the name. I mean, I didn't know they were into that.
Oh man, they're in a lot of stuff, bro. You need to look that company up and see what all they make. It's mind-boggling.
Really?
Yeah, they're into everything.
Okay. I will check that out.
It's just kind of scary, dude.
Hang on.
But
write that shit down. Go ahead, man. I can hear you.
Oh, I was gonna say the blackout stuff. I haven't heard anything about that yet. No,
Splinter was the first person that. He's the first person I've actually heard, and
the thing is, though,
I would believe it because of some of the shit that's been happening lately.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see it happen.
Like, you gotta take everything that you read and hear about now on social media with a grain of salt, especially now more than ever. Definitely,
100% agree.
Because there's just so much bullshit and rhetoric being tossed around right now. It's just really crazy right now.
I'm gonna tell you what, you know, we have not talked about what the fucking title is, and I just threw this up there because, look, put it this way, everybody's talking about the shit that's going on right now, and I don't know about you, I'm kind of tired of talking about the shit that everyone else is talking about. I'd rather talk about other things. That's why I brought up the whole girlfriends thing, and
well, yeah,
you can bring that up if you want, but
that's why I don't know if you saw our Let 'Em Burn episode the other day, right? The other night.
The most hydrogen peroxide.
I caught the tail end of that. I think that was the night I lost my the night I realized my wallet was gone, and that's why I wasn't there for most of it.
Yeah, that's
but I got the tail end of it, and
but you notice though that we didn't talk about any politics pretty much during
good. No, good.
It's ridiculous to do so. There's enough people out there doing. I don't like talking about it that much because most of this shit, man, it's like most of the shit you have no control over. So why worry?
Right. My point exactly. That has been my point exactly. Is like, okay, if this shit starts affecting me, like the whole mask bullshit, okay, that affects me. So that affects me. But anything fucking else that I don't have control, that I don't care. I'll do what I can, you know, whatever, bowling off all this bullshit. But I worry about me and mine and people in my circles and all this shit. That's what I worry about.
Yeah, that's all you should
all
do.
this worried about, you know, like, you know, we either vote these people in, these people out, and all this shit, you know. Guys, what else you got going for you? You got a billion other people talking about this shit. And I say a billion, even though we only have 350 million people here, because that's how the fucking votes are going as far as the politics go these fucking days. Or at least that's what it fucking looks like. What else is new?
I'm just
do you talk about anything that you can actually fucking do something about, so you can actually go out and do something about it?
No,
or are you just here to fucking talk?
No, they won't. They're bitching for the sake of bitching, and I don't know, man. I mean,
and that's to a certain extent, that's fine. And trust me, I'm no stranger to that. I do it every once in a while because maybe at least there's an entertainment value in there. Maybe I get some sort of release out of that. There's some cortisol that gets released, and I get this out of my system because I'm bitching about that. And okay, I get that. That's fine.
What I think it is too is I think a lot of people, a lot of conservatives and stuff like that are coming or having a rude awakening and having to come to grips with the fact that there's that the conservative, the GOP is not much better than the Democrats. It's almost like There's
been talk of this for 4 fucking years now. They're just now waking up to it. Okay. Well,
I mean, dude, you
grant them that. At least they're finally waking up. There's been talk of rhinos for 4 fucking years now.
Well, it's not just rhinos, man. It's the whole party, the whole GOP.
No, I agree. Yeah, the whole party. But at least this has been talked about for years fucking now.
Yeah.
You guys are now just figuring this shit out. Now you're storming the Capitol? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to give me your opinion about that? I talked about my opinion on it.
Oh,
You can tell me if you want to add to that or not. And if you don't, that's okay. I totally understand.
Like, I don't know what the point was to that. I guess people were just pissed off or something. They just wanted to vent, but I mean,
that could very well be the possibility. Yes,
I just don't see.
But I don't know. Back to my point, just real quick. Finally, they got off their asses and did something. Finally, they fucking put themselves out there. Finally, they fucking took a fucking risk.
You know what it was though? They did, but they did the dumbest fucking thing. They put and like least. They did the dumbest and like least. Like the least useful thing that they could have done. I understand you going to protests and stuff like that. I just don't see the point in it. And the people
I get that. I've been outspoken about protests for a while now because, okay, maybe that's how you got the word out way back when, because there was no internet, you didn't have access to the printing press and all that shit. And so actually being out in person, that's, if there was an issue that wasn't out there that, the majority of humanity didn't know about, that's how you did it. Tom Likas has talked about that before. He's participated in protests, and that's how he justified it. Like the Vietnam War, perfect example. Most people were like, they were opposed to the Vietnam War or the Korean War, whatever. People didn't have access to social media. They didn't have access to the printing press. They had access to getting mass information out to other people. Now they fucking do. So at least back then, it may have not, accomplished exactly what they wanted, but at least it made sense that that's what they fucking did. And that's what people did for fucking, thousands of years, Think of Gandhi, as bad as that fucking person was, look his fucking bio up.
Oh, I know about Gandhi, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not.
But at least he got shit done.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's like protesting is, especially in this day and age, it's like one of the laziest things you could possibly do. I mean, like,
it's fucking virtue signaling. It's going out to party with your fucking people and chant, with people who are in your fucking like-minded group, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Hell, I dealt with that shit fucking last night. By the way, I still want to put this out there. I don't know if I did it last night, but the literal hypocrisy, you're protesting literal police violence. That's why your whole fucking Black Lives Matter group is out there. But you have to get police sanctions to fucking do the fucking protest. That's still fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they went out there to protest something that, because all they were going to do was count the votes from the Electoral College, and that's all just. I mean, that's all standard operating procedure. It's basically just it's just what they call it, bread and circus kind of stuff. They're just going through the motions after that, because the Electoral College already voted. They already voted and stuff. I mean, it was done. So there were
I've heard the claims of what was it? A lot of the votes they got fucked over. I know this was stolen, but there's not much you're going to be able to do about that, anyways. So you may be you're right as far as this kind of a showing. They're not happy, so that's why they showed up. And again,
if anything should have been done, it should have been done during the summer, last summer, whenever this mail-in voting bullshit started to begin with. Like they should have clamped that down and said no, because
they should have did this shit in November.
No, I'd say before then, because they were even trying. They were doing that before then. They tried doing it in November. I mean, in the early in the summer, and in some political races and stuff, and it just wasn't working. You can't.
All right, I think I maybe missed something. What happened in September or the summer?
That's when they first started trying to do the mail-in ballots.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, early vote and all that shit.
When they first started pushing the idea of mail-in ballots, it's just everyone should have said no on that, you know. And then there was some other stuff that happened too with some of the other states. They were passing stuff. It's just all a big goat fuck, you know. They fucked up.
Yeah, you're right. In the end, you know, I've said this before. You said this before. It all really is. What they fucking want to put in there, they're going to do. And literally, well, at least, again, you know, disagree with them or agree with them, what they did, disagree with their politics. At least they fucking got off their asses and did something. That's the only point I wanted to make there. Whether it was effective, whether it was something that would actually do something, that's another point entirely. But at least they put themselves out there.
Not only was it not effective, it actually hurt the Republican, the GOP position, because a lot of there were some senators or congressmen that were going to contest the electoral votes, but because of all that bullshit that happened, they withdrew any sort of
no shit.
You know, so they shot themselves in the foot, man. It's not like they showed up and for better or for worse. No, it was definitely worse. You know, and plus it gave the whole thing gave it gave mainstream media and stuff and their opponents a lot more ammunition against them. So
it did, especially because they're not gonna spend any. You probably know about this, like the fucking leftists that they got trucked in over there to cause mayhem and shit. And I got comments, you know, like people were smashing fucking windows out with hammers and shit. That wasn't the fucking Patriots. That was the fucking Antifa people over there. That's who that was.
Could have been.
Maybe it was some Patriots. Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
But that's the behavior that's been going on for the last 6-7 fucking months now. We know who that is. But the average person probably is not going to know that. So to your point, you know, maybe you're right.
And
they shot themselves in the foot.
Mainstream media is calling it a coup and stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, I've never seen a coup without any weapons before. That would be historical precedent.
That was the thing. That was one of the things that was noted. You know, most of these people, they were like, you saw the protests that they had, you know, like on the lawns before, like the actual protests, not the fucking Antifa people, because they always have weapons too. There, Virginia, all these other people, like they were armed. This one, they were unarmed. They just fucking showed up. And by the way, most of the police, they actually let them the fuck in.
Yeah, I saw that. So,
do you let in violent protesters? I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's all.
But again, you know, that shit, again, I mean, I only brought it up because that shit happened this week and figured I'd address because I had other people like, Hey, bro, we need to have fucking cooler heads. Cooler heads ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. That's been off the table for at least 4 years, possibly longer. This shit is fucking war, and you need to fucking act like it. And if you look, if not for yourself, for the fucking people who depend on you, treat it the way it is. It's not a hard war. This isn't World War II. This isn't the Civil War. At least not yet. Though it can quickly fucking devolve to that. Ask Bull Rush how he knows.
Yeah,
I
don't know, man. Given the overall health of the population of this country, if there was a civil war, it wouldn't last very long. Motherfuckers get winded.
You got a point there. I think me and you and basically all of Team Let 'Em Burn and no one else. Like maybe some of the skinny people from Antifa or something. That'd be kind of a skirmish, maybe. But no, but the point is there. It's like, look, they're already calling for your fucking head. They've been doing that for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking years. So fucking act like it. There's no negotiation on the table anymore.
I mean,
they want your fucking head. You saw that fucking, did you see that, what was it? This Arthur Chu guy, I think? I can't remember what his name was. He's some sort of fucking fat Chinese comedian or something. And there goes my monetization, which I didn't have, so I don't care anyways. I wish I got all the screenshots I had. I talked about this earlier. I had to ask for screenshots from other people who interacted with this. He blocked me. He blocked a bunch of other people. He hid his tweets, right after this. I'm glad I spent the time on Twitter, wasting otherwise productive time, obviously, but whatever. That kind of shit. It's important to fucking note that shit. He was talking about the shit, the chick that got shot.
Oh, yeah.
She got shot in the head out there.
Yeah.
By the way, only fucking casualty. It wasn't friendly fire, This was the police that was shooting people, and that's what's making people question the blue line and all this stuff. That's a whole other thing altogether, but...
I mean, you had Capitol Police there, and there were SWAT, from what I heard, and, I mean, the thing is,
I can believe that.
They're human, man. They're human.
Yeah. People are going to make mistakes. Yeah, you're right.
Someone scared with a gun, anything can happen, man. I mean, that's why I'm always a big fan of de-escalation.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to de-escalate stuff. You don't want to escalate stuff.
Definitely. And you know what? As far as protest goes, that's the lowest body count I think of any goddamn protest this past year at least. Yeah. And none of it was friendly fire. That also shouldn't be overlooked. But you know what?
I think the other
things that they were saying about this chick who, by the way, I'm sure you know this, but in case anyone else doesn't know, fucking Air Force, much you can make fun of the Air Force, whatever. I think she made it to like officer or something. She was a mom. She had a family. Now, again, don't be there. Jitsu was heavily violated because she was there. Now, I would not have recommended her being there, but I understand why she was there. She was unarmed and she was just there to support the cause and got shot in the fucking head as a result. Now, you can argue about that all you want, and I'll listen to that. That's not the point. Point is what they fucking said about her afterwards. Did you see some of the shit they were saying about her?
No, I didn't pay attention.
Oh my God. I wish I gotten that fucking thread screenshotted. A major oversight on my part, and I'm willing to admit to that.
Well, I mean, I don't have to know. I can imagine what they were saying and stuff.
God, it was, dude. I have said bad things about people who fucking deserve it. I don't hold a candle to the shit that was said about her. Oh, a 45 ACP bullet penetrating the brain matter of a Nazi, being a net positive and bringing life through death and shit like that. that's only tipping the surface. Is that bad? And that's the point that I wanted to put out there. That is what these people think about you. So if you don't think this is fucking war, it's not Afghanistan, it's not Iraq. I get that. Don't think it won't come to that, but it's already happening. That's what these people think of you. So start fucking acting like it. Stop thinking that, you know, you can actually have a peaceful solution with these fucking assholes. It's not gonna happen. They already want your fucking blood, and they think that your fucking blood, your fucking life ending is going to bring about peace. That's what they think. So if you're pissed off at me for saying, you know, okay, why don't we fucking treat it the way it is? You think that's a bad thing because that's morally wrong. Morality went out of the window years ago.
It's not a morality thing. It's just the fact that it's rhetoric. And the thing about it is, I don't listen to what people say. I watch what, you know, I pay attention to what they do. And going on
Good
Twitter
rule of life.
and social media sites and running your mouth is completely different than shit you do in real life. Because a lot of it too is just venting and stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is, and that's the stuff like that doesn't bother me. It really doesn't.
You're not wrong about that. That was the main criticism I had with the Patriots.
It doesn't bother me.
We know. I think you, me, and Joe. We all noted that. They had some fucking convention. I can't remember exactly where, but they
these people
dressed up in like.
Dude, most of these people are LARPing. Like 99.9% of these people are LARPing.
Exactly.
And if you put them on a two-way rifle range, they would shit their pants. Both sides, mind you.
Not wrong.
Both sides, the so-called patriots and
exactly
patriots and leftists, they would all shit their pants. It's not anyone that's actually been in combat will tell you that's like really the last resort. You don't.
Again, you know, I get shit all the time because, and I get shit from you but you know, I know it's kind of friendly shit. I get why I get it from you, and that's fine. I'm always talking about alternate weapons and all this shit. You know, it's like, okay, but invest in rifles and pistols, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Definitely do that. If you're listening to that, definitely have that. I invest in other weapons because of the environment that I work in. I don't want to deal with illegal shit, for starters. Ask me how I know. But a lot of people don't think about other things you can do. And there may be things that you may have to do depending on your environment, depending on whether you run out of that fucking ammo, for fuck's sakes. A lot of people focus on that, but again, you just said it, and Joe said it before. I've said it myself. Your gun is a last resort. That's literally if you have nothing else to. That's your last resort. You don't have any other option, and so that's the only option. You have to keep yourself alive, keep your family alive, your kids alive, whatever. Look at that. I don't remember what his name was, but the guy in fucking Nashville or whatever, he was literally getting beaten to the ground with skateboards. By the way, ask me how I know. Yeah, skateboards don't hurt all that much, actually. But that kid, he was like 17 or something. He was literally on the ground with his fucking AR, and that's when he started firing.
Oh, you mean over in Wisconsin or something like yeah,
somewhere in that fucking region.
Yeah,
geography isn't my strong suit, in case you were wondering. Yeah, but no, that guy. And I looked into that. You know, that was a subject that you guys brought up in Let 'Em Burn.
That was a legit case of self-defense.
Yeah, he's on the ground. One guy has a skateboard. The other guy had a fucking Glock pointed at him.
Yeah.
He had a firearm pointed at him. You think he had a reason to shoot back? Or shoot first? Again, preemptive striking. That is self-defense. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, that
And
was
people are arguing with that shit. So you're totally right. Again, everyone focuses on the 5.56 and the 9mm Lugers and all that shit. And there's a whole bunch of infighting on which sidearm you want to use to get to your rifle. Your Sig Sauers, your Smith & Wessons, your Rugers, your Glocks, whatever.
it's all mental masturbation.
Oh, God.
It
is. And it's like, y'all fighting over this shit, really?
The best gun and the best round is what you're comfortable with and what you practice with the most. That
100% right. You know what? I'm gonna throw this because I've been doing the research on this. I'm no gunsmith or look. Firearms are not my strong suit. I'll put that out there right now. Right. I focus more on the actual other weapons. I'll get into that at some point. But did you know? Basically, this is. You can tell me what you think about this. You want to know what the one round that has stopped most, like home invaders and other people you like needed to be stopped?
What do you mean?
I'll give you a hint. It's a handgun round. It's also well, actually, this is a better hint. It's a rifle round too.
Oh, I don't know. The
22
that stopped
somebody with one fucking round. Now, in fairness, the ones that they didn't stop, it didn't matter how many rounds they put into them. They were coming after them anyways.
Man, I've seen people shot multiple times with 9mm, 45, 44 mag, and even 5.56. I've heard several,
which is literally one of the best rounds, as far as just versatility goes. That's why the U.S. military still has it.
Yeah, 5.56 is still a 22 caliber round. It's a 223. It's a small round.
It's a small round, but a lot of force behind it. Again, force equals mass times acceleration. That's why the 223 is such a powerful round, even though it's so small.
Well, it's a 22, but it's got a shit ton of powder behind it. And
exactly.
That thing's it's trucking up around 3,000 feet per second from the muzzle, and at that speed, you can take AR 500 plate. Depending on how close you are, it'll pop right through AR 500 plate.
Yeah, and by the way, that's why angle matters. They actually, I looked at this because I've never worn AR plating or anything. Just to be honest, I've never worn that. I just have done the research, so it's all theory on my end. They actually take angle that you hit it at. So if it's direct, then that's one story. But if it's at an angle, maybe it'll bounce off or something. It all trial place come in and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that comes into play with that. It also depends on the curvature of the plate, because plate geometry. Back in the day, plate geometry, you just got a flat piece of plate, but nowadays they're coming out with ways to bend that plate to be more comfortable and to fit the body better. So you'll have it curved left to right, and then sometimes you'll even have it curved up and down to a degree, and then the plate geometry and stuff starts to have an effect on where you get shot and on how the bullet reacts and stuff like that. But
right, it's a study of ballistics, really. I mean,
yeah, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube where all that stuff's been tested too. You don't have to have. You just look that stuff up.
Yeah, these guys plug Hootie Who. That's one of the ones I follow. They do a lot of that shit. Can't remember the other ones, but learned a lot on that.
The biggest, really the only round I've ever seen dead stop somebody consistently is fucking 12 gauge rounds.
That would do it.
Slug and buckshot, double triple aught buck, and yeah.
But okay. Well, to answer the question, trust me, I was surprised too because I'm partial to 22 mag because it's pretty consistent. Now I get the rimfire versus centerfire thing. I understand that. 9mm also had to go through a lot of different. They improved their ammunition as well, so to make them more reliable. So rimfire may be a little bit less reliable for the reasons rimfires are less reliable. I get it. I just happen to like 22 mag. Hell, what was it? The Keltec PMR 30. You could fit 30 rounds into a fucking standard size magazine. Now I don't know about this. If you have 30 rounds in a fucking magazine out of a pistol, that's probably gonna stop most goddamn people. Especially if it's putting out pretty close numbers to goddamn 9mm. But to answer that question, just as far as my research goes, I could be wrong. Standard 22 LR. One round of that will stop somebody about, 70% of the time, I believe?
What?
I shit you not. I didn't believe it either.
I'd have to see the receipts on that, man, because my daughter shoots 22 long rifle out of her rifle, and that's a tiny round, man. And a 22 long rifle only has about like 40.
It doesn't have that much powder behind it. No. 22 mag has enough powder behind it so it can actually punch in the range of at least close approaching a 9mm, which is the standard for like a handgun or if a carbine, really. No, I get that. I wasn't sure about that either. That's what the fucking research compiled. I haven't archived any of that. It wasn't a post that I would plan to put together because truthfully, I haven't been to a range in fucking years, so I'm not the person that can speak on that. It's just what I've looked up.
I'd have to see.
But if that can do it,
well, you can kill. I mean, you can stop anyone with any caliber. It's just how many times you're going to have to, how many follow-up shots you're going to have to take. And also,
or how well the placement is.
Yeah, shot placement.
That kind of makes sense. Now, 9mm doesn't have all that much, kickback. You don't have to recalibrate shots all that badly. 9mm is not that hard to shoot. Even with kind of the lightest handguns. But, you start talking about 22 territory. Magnum or long rifle. Almost no kickback at all.
Yeah, I know.
So you can place that round anywhere you want, and if you know what the fuck you're doing, I'm gonna guess that kind of has a factor there.
Man, that really depends on. That really depends on. There's a lot of context to that, man. There's a lot of nuance because that depends on.
All this does, and that's
on how good they are.
Yeah. All this is how well you place the shots, what target you're shooting at. Is this just some guy who is this like some Soulboy Antifa guy? Like you stare at him hard enough and he's gonna fucking collapse, or is this some guy that's hopped him on PCP? That's kind of a fucking game changer. Is this some like guy who's like 5'0", and weighs 80 pounds soaking wet, or is this some guy is this like the Undertaker who's like 6'6" and 300 pounds?
Right.
You
have to understand the mechanics of actually shooting whenever you shoot somebody is just that unless you hit them in the head and just get a headshot, right through their gray matter. Any other shot you take below that like in the, center mass and stuff like that, you're basically trying to cause enough trauma for them to stop, for their body to stop moving. And it takes a lot, dude. You'd be surprised how resilient the body is.
It is. There were sorry to cut you off, but this came to mind. There was, what was it? It was a cracked article back when they actually did journalism. Gunshots is one of the things it covers, like things that you think would kill you in the movies. Like you get shot in the fucking pinky and then somebody dies or something. Like that's how they did the things in the movies. But things that you think would kill you, but you would actually survive from, and gunshots is one of them. What was the getting shot in the fucking heart? What do you think the survival rate of that is? Literally getting shot in the heart.
I don't know, man. It depends on where you were shot. And it depends on the caliber of the cartridge.
It would. You know what? You bring that kind of. You're right about that. They didn't bring that there. They just brought the numbers. It was like 2/3 of people who got shot in the fucking heart survived.
I believe it. I can believe that.
And you have to think about now that I think about it, just thinking about this shit. Think about bullets. It's something that's moving. It depends on now if it's a hollow point, that adds a whole nother fucking element, because now that's taking all the force and is, keep in mind, force equals mass times acceleration. That's why the 223 and 556 is so good around. It's a lot more acceleration, but it depends on how that energy affects your body. If it just passes through you, your body can probably just kind of patch over through it. Might even be able to do it on its own without even any, not recommended, but without any actual medical assistance. If it just passes through you, if it just stops it, and maybe there are some rounds that kind of bounce around your body. That's what 223 is kind of, for whatever reason, they said that about that. The 9mm, they call hollow points the cop killers way back in 2008, or I think I don't know if you remember that.
No,
in reality, it's the fucking opposite. The whole point of hollow points is that it doesn't penetrate the body and kill somebody behind the person you're trying to kill. Really? I knew that back in 2008, and I was like a fucking teenager.
It still can, depending on stuff, on terminal ballistics. But yeah, hollow points were designed to cause more trauma faster because the bullet opens up. And
it expends more energy into the body, which is the whole fucking point of kinetic kinetic weapons. It's the same with, like melee weapons. Have a fucking club, it hits you in the fucking head. That's a lot of kinetic energy. The bullet's the same thing. It's just a small projectile that you can shoot at somebody at range. It's just a ranged weapon.
Because hollow points are designed to expend most of their kinetic energy within, I think, 4 to 6 inches upon entering the body, whereas your regular non-hollow points, your ball rounds,
ball ammo,
they can go through somebody and go through them completely. And the hollow points are actually a little bit more safer.
Yeah,
I believe it.
That's how I would go with if I don't go with fragile ammunition, well, I don't know. I don't want to look the energy. The whole point is to get the energy to hit the target, even if it doesn't penetrate. Like their skin or something. If they're wearing body or something, the energy still fucking hits them. Ever been hit by a fucking train? Even if it doesn't penetrate your skin, you still get hit with the energy. That's going to slow you down at least a little bit, and that's the whole fucking point. Well, I just don't want it to hit my fucking neighbors. That's all.
Depending on what level armor you're rocking with, it's not. I mean, if you're running like 3A plus armor,
or 4 point, that I think was it You can get it to level 4 or something that stops.
Yeah.
What is it? 308 rounds or something.
Yeah, level 4 will stop 308, 30-06 rounds. But 9mm, you're not going to feel that shit. That's some sick
True.
right there. But
Yeah.
you can sit here all day and just be like, what if, you know?
Well, and you know, to your point, and I've seen the same thing. You know, it all that shit is just talk. Have these people ever been shot? My question, as far as just everything fucking goes, trust me, I know you've gone through this. Trust me, I've been curb stomped, so I know I've dealt with it. How many of these people have ever been punched in the face?
I don't know. Obviously not enough.
Trust me, not enough. Again, I keep getting ahead. Apparently, I'm way the fuck out of my time with the whole fucking concept of the 95%. To the point I actually had to fucking write it down, and people are still fucking going back to that specific fucking percentage. 95% of people can't do this. 95% of people can't do that. Who fucking wrote about that? All right. Anyways, but no, all these fucking assholes talking about this shit. 95% of them have never been punched in the face. They don't understand kinetic energy. All of its theory to them is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe they go to the range. They know their fucking caliber. They know. Maybe they know about the guns, whatever company that they're familiar with, and they like Smith & Wesson, Ruger, 6 Hour, whatever. And that's fine. None of them ever using the role. You've used this shit in a World War setting. We've talked offline about some of the shit that you've had to deal with, you know, back in your days in the military. So you know your shit. So if you have something to say about that, I trust you. I will take your advice without any hang-ups. If you say something, I listen. These motherfuckers who it's basically just a hobby at best. Y'all motherfuckers ran away from rain. You ran away from a light misting. It's like, okay, it's kind of raining. Let's go home. Like, are you fucking serious? I said it before, and I'll say it again. If my instructor ever hurt me say those fucking words, or even had any kind of inclination that, like, I would have been fucking flogged and quartered. Really?
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys are arguing about this shit instead of anything else, things that kind of more important, you know, in a combat situation. Again, going back to fucking was the first aid kit, the first thing that anyone calls out, you know, when shots are fired. Medic! That's kind of important. Y'all don't focus on this shit. You just focus on the pallets of fucking 5.56 ammo and the ammo can of 9mm you use as a doorstop.
Yeah, I actually, now that you mentioned that, I don't know if you noticed on Twitter, there's a mom and pop company called Soul Attack. It's down, they're based out of Louisiana, and they have trauma first aid kits, like these little trauma first aid kits. They treat like gunshot wounds and stuff like that. I bought 2-pack. I bought 2 of their trauma kits, put one inside my range bag and put one in my car. And
no, that's not a bad thing to get. I know of them by name.
And I also got a couple of their cat tourniquets too.
I mean, that good shit to have.
So
everyone talks about, you know, it's fun. Joe's talked about this. Joe Dolio again, tactical-wisdom.com. It's fun to shoot down range and all this shit. It's not as fun to talk about defensive measures and how to treat people.
Dude, you're gonna need to know first aid more. Even when I was in the military, I had to use first aid more than I had to use my gun, dude.
Exactly.
You know.
Can I tell you where I first heard that concept, if you don't mind?
What concept?
I mean, just using first aid or whatever instead of just shooting down. So I guess if you're listening this late in the Fox, I don't care if you know where I used to live before. I used to live literally across the street from Auburn Station. That's a major transportation hub, which the Sounder train goes through there. So whenever you hear the trains, that's what's going through there. But in that plaza, they used to have, was it a farmer's market?
Uh-huh.
And I would go there to get different things. And this one time I was coming back, got a few things, and there was this guy. Now, Sound Transit, they don't employ just a regular security. They actually employ protection agencies. That's different. Security is just, those are the mall cops. Protection agencies up here, they can fucking shoot and detain your ass because they have the same rights on the private property, that being the entire fucking station in this case, like as the police.
Yeah.
So the guy I ended up talking to, and it's kind of, it lends to the article I had. What was it? Tough Guy. Somehow, even though I've never been in the military, most people don't know who the fuck I am. Most of the time when I'm talking to them. But if they're actually people like you, Bull Rush, who are actual fucking tough guys, whether in the military or not, people who have to deal with real world shit, we somehow recognize each other. And this was that case. I'm not going to say the guy's name. I still remember his name to this day. I'm just not going to relinquish it. He was dressed up in pretty much what you expect, like the fucking police would like. I think it was like, you can correct me in this. I think it's level 3, but it was soft body armor. Had his gun and everything on him.
Yeah, you can get soft body armor up to level 3, and then you have a 3A and a 3A plus. I think that's
right. Yeah, and that's what he had. Pretty fucking arm, and this is not the first time I've run across a person like this. But I don't know, we're just what, and I'm not in the normal metal weights that I'm wearing and all that shit that I'm doing nowadays.
Most of your civilian law enforcement stuff are going to carry up to level 3 because that can stop, pistol rounds and stuff like that. It's not going to stop, it's not going to stop rifle rounds at all. But it can stop most small and large caliber handgun rounds.
And that's what you normally consider, you normally encounter, and gang,
you don't want
gang shootouts and shit like that.
Cops, you have to understand, cops still have to run and be able to fucking move around and be mobile. So they're not going to, and level 3A plus armor is too goddamn heavy for them. So that's
real quick question before I say anything else. How heavy? Because I've done my research in this because I want to get some of this. How heavy is 3 plus A armor?
Man,
in your experience,
the stuff we had was heavy, but the thing is, that was 20 years ago. Man, they've come so far. They've come quite a way with technology and stuff. You can get level 4 armor, if I'm not mistaken, in like plastic stuff now, like plastic plates, like a polycarbonate plate. I mean, they're really thick. But
by the way, I've done what do you call it? Composite classes, so I know the materials that goes into that.
You got plastic now. You got ceramic plating that's lighter. There's just a whole lot of stuff out there now. I can't even tell you.
Yeah,
I do know the AR 500 plate that we carried, the flat shit. It was very uncomfortable, and it was very heavy, and it sucked ass.
All right. Well, then again, that was 20 years ago. Are you sure you're in your 30s?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm about to be 39.
Nice. Remind me of seeing your birthday present. Anyways, but long story short, he has that stuff, and well, the reason I asked it because some of the shit, it was it wasn't that all that heavy duty. It was like maybe just regular level 3 or something. It was like 11 pounds, like for the heavy shit. Which, hell, my vest that I carry every day to work is 22 pounds. And that's like nothing to me. So I could just literally just throw that on. It was like, nothing. Throw that on top of that. No big deal. That's just, well, but that's just the level of conditioning that I've built myself. Not for the average person, I understand. But, you know, back to the point. This guy, we were just passing through. I'm just carrying regular groceries. I'm pretty much dressed the way I am now, you know, tank top and shorts. And we just get to talking and all this stuff. And turns out he was an infantryman for the U.S. Army. He was deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq and all this stuff. So he wasn't just like some fobbit or anything like that. He was literally in the fucking thick of it. But somehow, like within that, 30 seconds, a minute or something, you know, we just kind of had to go. We ended up having like a 2-hour-long fucking conversation. Just kind of like the way we're doing now. And kind of like how we did, you know, back then when we started talking or whatever. The whole point is real recognized role. I have no military experience. I have my own experience, which a lot of things I can't get into here. But I've had to deal with real world situations, you know, where, okay, if I make the wrong decision, my life and maybe the life of other people, they're on the line here. So make sure you're doing shit fucking right. But I recognize that. I'm sure you'll recognize that if you run across other people, whether they're in the chair force or something, they actually have to deal with shit. They fucking do that. That fucking happened. Is like, we ended up just talking for like 2 fucking hours, just talking. I asked him a lot of things, and one of the things he talked about, just being an infantry. Maybe you can give me more, you know, because I know the Marines is a whole different thing. But from what he told me, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades, basically. You have to know how to basically patch somebody up until, you know, an actual cranium from shoulder separation.
Yeah.
They have to patch people up to keep them going.
Yeah.
You know, like all kinds of shit. There's more to being an infantry person than just what you may hear on TV.
Oh yeah, because like our like in the Marines, we have infantry. It's pretty much all we have. When you get out of basic training in the Marines, if you're billeted, if your MOS is falls under the infantry, falls under the infantry part, like there's 2 different tracks. There's 2 different schools you go to. So like if you're rated, if your MOS falls under infantry, you go to what's called SOI, which is School of Infantry. And that's 3 months. That's a 3-month school, man. And everyone else goes to MCT, which is Marine Combat Training, which is kind of like it's a little bit shorter. Well, it's a lot shorter. I think it's like 6 or 8 weeks if I remember. But it's more compressed.
So at least a month shorter.
Oh yeah, it's like 6 weeks, I think.
Okay.
But it's compressed compared to School of Infantry. And then once you get done with MCT, you go on to your MOS school, which mine was military police. I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, to do that's an Army base. To do their to go through their MP school over there.
Huh. Okay.
And that was 3 months long. But we have leave and stuff like that. So
nice. And from what I know, just from the Army side, because I know people who have gone through that. There were people that went to high school that was their plan. They were going to go through basic training. They wanted to go through advanced infantry training. That's one thing that I know that the Army does go through.
Yeah.
Like they actually go through specific infantry training, which I don't know. If you really like Starship Troopers, I guess that's what you would want to go through. I don't know if I don't want to do it, but hey, they fucking did it. So good on them. I imagine it's maybe not as extensive as what you may have went through, but they at least have
like,
that.
Either way, like it doesn't matter if you're in the Army or in the Marines or anything like that. If you're an infantry soldier, it's a really rough MOS, man. Like it fucks your knees up and stuff and your joints up pretty good. And
I've heard, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I have my own reasoning why that's the case. I can give a real quick run through as to why that is, and maybe you can tell me from your side of things. But basically, most of the people who go through that, maybe they played football in high school or something, so they have some workout regimen. Most of the people who go through that, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not my field. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. But they don't have much conditioning. You're not going to get that much conditioning as a teen anyways. Let's just put it that way.
No, it's just nature of the beast, man. It's just nature of the job. If you know, you're always you're running around, especially in the Marines, like you don't have transportation like maybe like the Army does. I mean, you're literally running everywhere with like 100 pounds on your back.
That's going to do some damage.
That does,
especially if you're not conditioned for it.
It doesn't matter if you're conditioned or not. It's going to, your human body's not made to really carry that much weight for that long of a period of time, man. And it over the years of doing that, it has deleterious effects.
Yeah,
it fucks with your back, it fucks with your hips, your knees, all your fucking joints, and you're crawling around doing all kinds of stuff, man. It's like I said, it's a rough fucking MOS, man.
It is, but you're doing that in your early. Yeah, even if you are conditioned, as you said, that shit is. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. I guess for the Army's sake, the Marines' sake, the military's sake, best time for you to actually do that kind of shit. But as far as your own body's sake, especially when you start getting to your upper years, it's not a good thing for you to do. Now, Bay has talked about this, how you actually work out. You don't need to actually beat yourself up at the gym the way most people do. And I'll give him credit. I gave him credit with my buddy, the girl that we just met back at her place and just hung out and all that stuff. And that was the whole title of this. And I don't care if this goes off the rails. It's fine. She's starting to get back into shape. And I kind of told her the same thing. She already has the equipment that she needs. Only thing I would tell her is maybe the pull-up bar. And look, women are going to have lower body strength than men. So she's going to have to work even harder than Nick Schulaner is doing right now. He's still working on, doing an unassisted pull-up. But he's working from a deficit. But he's already made quite a bit of progress. Most people don't go through that kind of shit. They don't go through the way that your body should be processing exercise and full loads and all that shit. Mary's like, no, we need this shit now. You need to be able to do this shit now. Because, by the way, if you don't do this shit now, hey, your base gets overrun, you get killed or raped, and then everyone else fucking does. So it's kind of priority based. I understand that. It's not the best way to actually build. So, but I understand where that kind of comes from. We're talking about war. Hey, you gotta do this shit now. Maybe you have bad knees or a back later or something like that. But at least you're not fucking dead. Your country hasn't been raised and your women have been, cream pie by your fucking enemies, and they're now raising your enemies' children. I understand that. Still a good program as far as, I guess, getting you in shape, but not the best sustainably as what you're saying. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's just it's a rough MOS, man. There's not a whole lot of old guys in infantry. They usually get out of it, do something else. That's why my dad was like, "Don't whatever MOS you pick, don't go into infantry." I'm like, all right. He's
And
like,
so, of course, you went into military police, apparently, because that's much better. Now you got to deal with them.
that's fine. I just didn't have I didn't want to have the physical side effects coming out later on. When I got older and shit.
No, totally understood. And again, I guess this is just speaking from my experience. I'm not a military person. I like to start with what I'm not. You can always correct me on this shit because you've been there. You've been there far more than I have. I am not a military person. I understand the mindset. You need this shit done now. But as far as approaching the shit, longevity wise, I talked about this with my not newfound, but we hadn't talked for years, and I got to hang out at her place for quite a while. We talked about a whole lot of different things, including that she wants to lose weight. She gained a lot more weight than I thought she had. Apparently, she weighs almost as much as I do now. By the way, she's 5'1". I'm 6'2". So she's got some ways to go. She's on the way. She's at least doing something about it, by the way. Just going back to things that you and Rob and Nick and everybody's talking about shit. When are you actually going to get off your ass, ever expanding ass, and actually do something about it? At least she's doing something about it. She got, what the fuck is this, row machine or something? Which is actually kind of cool.
I mean, just track your calories and your daily ins and outs and come out with a calorie deficit every day.
There's that. I don't even do that these days, to be honest with you.
All you got to do.
You don't even need to do that. But that goes back to if you know what you're doing. But as far as the exercise part of it,
to be honest,
no, you're not wrong.
It's not even that hard.
No, it isn't. It is not that hard. It's not as hard as
math.
A lot of the other people who sell you fucking courses and all this shit make it out to be. Bay is a great example of that. I'm actually one pretty example of that. You want to know what got me into fucking shape? I burned 80 pounds of fucking fat and built 20 pounds of muscle. You want to know what I use? Pretty much for the most part, this is a 50-pound dumbbell that my instructor gave me. One of two. That's what I use. And I have other things that I've used before, and my bike is one of them as well. But that's pretty much all I use. That's it. It doesn't take all that much if you know what the fuck you're doing. But as far as the muscles you want to work out, the ones that people complain about when they start getting older and they think it's just because of age and whatever, is their back, specifically their lower back, and their legs, specifically their knees. What do the muscles do? They protect those fucking joints. And that's what all they are. You work on those, by the way. You work on pretty much all your other muscles, by the way. You work on those and you're fucking fine. And it takes, one, maybe 2 sessions a week for maybe about 30 minutes. An hour if you really want to do some crazy shit like I usually do. Because I'm the person that jumps in with both feet in a lot of water as far as this shit goes. Because that's just the type of person I am. But this does not set a good precedent for people who end up being clients of mine. Like, okay, you guys take it slow. Meanwhile, I'm going to dive into this shit, like both feet in a lot of water. Like, I'm going to dive into the heavy shit real fucking quickly. That's not a good fucking show on my part, but I understand that. That's just who I am. I do this shit so you don't have to. But those are the things that you want to work on, so you don't have these problems in the military. Different machine. I understand that they're not focused on your long-term longevity unless you're a fucking general or something, in which case you're not using your physical body all that much anyways. But they need to get shit done. Need it done now. Because if we don't get it done now, we're overrun and the enemy is fucking our women, basically. I get that. So I get the training and how all that goes. That's not what I do. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Okay. All right. Well, sort of. That's probably the best I'm going to get. I know that's, yeah. I know. I get it. I get why, you know, a lot of Marines and the Army that actually does, they go through basic training and they actually go through the infantry training and all this other shit. You know, I get why they do, because that line of work, you got to get shit done. And so that gets prioritized before anything else. Hell, I can't imagine why VA is a thing. Aside from what happened to the guys in Vietnam and Korean War and the other ones that happened afterwards, the PTSD shit and all that stuff.
Yeah, that happens. Last statistic I saw on that is, I think 30% of combat personnel suffer from some form of PTSD to some degree. It's actually not. It's not as prevalent as people make it out to be, but it's still a serious problem.
No, and I get it. I've seen other people who haven't been in the military. They've dealt with other things, and they deal with PTSD. I mean, it's not directly. How do I put it? You know, militarily combat related. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And trust me, you know, what was it? The Ranger that was in my school. Oh, wait, cool fucking guy. I think he's. Last I checked, he was going into. He was in the Army Rangers. He had applied to go into the Navy SEALs. Pretty good at hand-to-hand, by the way. Clipped me quite a few times. But, you know, he can't enjoy 4th of July for the reasons you can imagine somebody who's been on those lines can't enjoy 4th of July, all the explosions and shit. He has to go into some sort of fucking quiet room. He can't deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, he can't hear the fucking explosions because it just brings back memories and all that shit, you know?
Well, it makes them go into a heightened state of anxiety.
Yeah. Which is totally understandable. Okay. We're from an environment where, okay, it like you and Terrence Pablo's two-way rifle range where you guys are shooting back for, and it sounds a whole fucking lot like that. Now, I can totally fucking understand. I haven't been in too many situations like that. I've been in a few. Thank God. Thank God they never fucking came to that most of the time. But I've been in them. I can understand. Hell, even with what I did, I still enjoy fireworks. But, you know, you end up in Afghanistan, you know, or God knows whatever fucking place it was that fucking...
I know some civilian law enforcement. A lot of those guys suffer from PTSD. So do ambulance drivers and stuff, EMT paramedics, civilian paramedics and stuff like that. They have, they can suffer from PTSD. This one guy I know, he was so firefighters too. Any of those first responders. I knew a guy when he was working as an EMT. He like the company that he worked for, they had like mandatory counseling, like psychological counseling and stuff that they had to attend every year. You know, just to make sure, have someone to talk to, make sure they weren't, you know, they were okay mentally and stuff like that. You know, because some of that stuff that you see, even as an EMT and stuff, it can be pretty, you know, it can be pretty taxing on the.
I mean, you're a first responder. You're dealing with this shit. That was one of the things that me and the lady I ended up, you know, hanging out with tonight. We talked about that because, she's no other way to put it. She's black, and she's dealt with some of the shit that deal with on the West Coast, probably other places in black culture that you would deal with this kind of shit. And she talked about there's a place that's close by that. Now, the place I'm in, I can leave my fucking door unlocked, which is probably a good thing because I broke my fucking key off in the fucking door, so I have to unlock it with a fucking screwdriver now.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I swear to God, talk about life telling you, you know, the world is trying to tell you something, so start fucking listening. Literally, at the last vendor I had, you know, or the last place I was delivered to, literally off the fucking road, I was like, I could probably wait here for 5-10 minutes, see if anything comes, but I don't think it's going to be busy. And if nothing comes in, you know, I'll just come home and just start recording a show, which still has to be uploaded because fuck you, WordPress. But literally, unlocking the damn door and the key breaks off in it. Now, again, lost my wallet a few days ago. My insurance, they cover towing about up to 15 miles, but after that, you have to kind of pay. You have to pay for that. I'm way the fuck away from my home where I could actually fucking take care of that shit, or even the maintenance place that I would go have that taken care of. So that would have, if anything, it went wrong during that day, which I knew was a gamble, and it paid off, really. If anything gone with my car, you know, and I had to get towed, that was going to be a camping trip. An unplanned fucking camping trip. And that's what it almost turned into. Luckily, I was able to get in the car. I had my other wallet that had the original key that the car came with. So I was able to, I took that, okay, got in the car. Do I wait another hour? Nah, fuck that. See ya. Bye. I'm going home. Fuck this shit. I'm going to go home and get drunk. Like, fuck this shit. There's my sign from the world. But, you know, there's one thing she talked about. I guess she got profiled, what was it? University Place. That's an area in Tacoma. That's where the other major university is. In the Puget Sound area. She got pulled over and she got profiles like, okay, again, she's black. She got pulled over. Nice car, by the way. Which we had our own talk about that. And we had our talks about she had the option of one was it her Ford Focus at the time, which she kept pouring money into, but she didn't have an interest in keeping the way that I want to keep my cars, because I pour money into my cars because I'm just going to keep them for fucking life until like fucking crash them or some shit like that. That's the only reason you pour money into cars like that, is if you're going to keep them forever. And that's my major thing for that. And that's a whole different discussion entirely, but she finally got my perspective as far as that goes. She told me as much tonight, but she got pulled over in this area, which is kind of a rougher area. And again, did you know people who are darker skin color, even darker than I am, certainly darker than you are, tend to drive drunk and high? Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. No kidding. So, at least, I don't know if you knew this, they kind of have to profile on that least part. And I think, based on what she told me, They were looking for somebody to kind of fit her description. And the story that I told you, she woman profile, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong about what she said would happen to her. But the story I told her, it was one of the Cambodian single mom stories that I had told before. That was a whole Halloween thing I told. Talk about horror stories. You want to knock up a woman that has already had 6 kids?
No.
More on that. Trust me, I've been there. I told that story. But one of the things, she was in one of those, we had one of these motels that you could rent out for 2 hours for $15. And she was waiting in that hotel like I was going to some sex shop or something to get some flavor loop, whatever. And I got pulled over by LA County Sheriffs. And I get pulled over. I don't have tabs. That's the reason I got pulled over. Yeah. Drove dangerously, literally back then. And I'm reaching, usually have my credentials there in my right pocket now, but they were in my left pocket back then. And so I'm reaching that as he's walking up to my car. I know he wants my license, he wants my registration, all this shit, which I didn't have, but at least had the license. So I'm reaching for that. And immediately pulls the fucking guns. Put your hands on the fucking steering wheel. You know, like shit escalated real quick. He gets out, and I won't get into the whole fucking story, but they have to search my car. And you will know this because you've dealt with this. You know what happens after a fight or flight situation that's over, and you get that kind of adrenaline drop, and people get the fucking tremors and shit like that. Literally watch it and still remember what the guy said. It's like, dude, why did you reach in there? I almost fucking shot you.
Yeah, dude.
Why did you do that?
You don't ever fucking reach. Dude, you keep your hand. You gotta keep your hands on the steering wheel until a cop gets there, and then whenever he asks you for something, if you have to reach for something, you let him know. Hey, I have it. It's in my pocket. You tell him where it is, and ask him if it's okay if you reach for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't start moving around and shit, man. Cops don't like that.
No, and he's right. But my whole point of that was, okay, maybe he got profiled, and maybe he got an asshole cop too. I mean, that happens. Sure, that probably even happens in Texas. It certainly happens in fucking LA. But understand the environment that you're in. This guy could have literally gotten shot at by some asshole who did the exact same motion that I did not a week ago and is back on the fucking beat. That shit could have happened. So I could totally understand why he had the reaction he did. And now that we're out of the car, me and him were talking, we're looking eye to eye to each other, He knows I'm not a threat anymore. I'm not some gangbanger or any shit like that. So he's okay now. But that's why he's telling me, he's trying to dude, what the fuck? Why did you do this?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to shoot you, man. Most cops they don't want to do that. I mean, that's not what they're there for. But
exactly.
It's
that's the kind of thing
it's like that.
Try to explain to her. Sorry, go ahead.
A year and a half ago, I got pulled over. I got pulled over in a residential neighborhood, probably about a half mile away from my house, and I had my gun on me, as per usual. And I don't go outside my front door without it. I don't go in my backyard without it. But
don't blame me.
Yeah, he I kept my hands on the steering wheel, turned all the cabin lights on in my car, rolled down the window and everything. And he was asked me for my driver's license and stuff. I told him where it was at. I told him I was going to reach for it. All that good. So he's like, yeah, go ahead. And so I reached for it, and he saw whenever I was doing that, at the time I had a seat holster for my gun. But I didn't have my gun in it. I had my gun on my holster on me. And he saw the holster in the front seat there between my legs. He's like, do you have a gun on you? And as I was pulling out my my driver's license, I also pulled out my my concealed carry, my license to carry.
Right.
and
Probably
stuff.
important in that kind of situation because now he knows you have a gun. That automatically escalates things.
And well, I don't have to tell him shit. In the state of Texas, I don't have to tell him yes or no. I can tell him it's none of his fucking
I
business.
would guess that probably helps though.
But
Just
just just being transparent and making sure we're both safe. I said, yes, sir, I do. And here's my LTC and my license and my VA card.
probably also help too. Knowing you're ex-military probably goes a long way.
And so he looks at it, he's like, where is it right now? I said, it's on my 4 o'clock right hip in my holster. He goes, I'm gonna go check this out. And don't touch it. I'm like, so I kept my hands locked on that steering wheel the whole time where he could see them.
No, and that's the right thing to do. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was doing the right thing, just getting the documentation ready for him so he didn't have to worry about all that shit and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think
I fucked up, and I was in my early 20s or something like that. I mean, that's the age where I'm going to make those kind of fuck ups. And, again, not knowing all that shit, things that you knew it clearly at the time that you were being pulled over, things that I didn't know.
Well, the thing is, like my dad taught us a long time ago how to behave around police when we get pulled over. I think he gave us that talk right when we started getting our driver's license and stuff like that.
Makes one of us.
And
I didn't get that talk.
He's like, man, always keep your hands where the officer can see them. Don't do anything unless he tells you to do it. And if he asks you a question, it's yes or no, sir.
Yeah.
Don't lie to him.
And that's all. That's all. I got that advice afterwards. Now, my pops, and by the way, good man, definitely good man. I sent him a bottle of you ever hear this? Was it 1791 whiskey or something like that?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I still have my own bottle of that, but I got it. I was going to send it to him for his birthday. I eventually got a chance to send it to him for Christmas. He's finally gotten it like months later, but he has his own bar there, and I did a show from literally his bar at one point. I wanted to send him that, but he wasn't. By the time that age was there, like he wasn't there for that because the reasons you can imagine.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him for making the decisions that he made. He never had a chance to tell me this, so I didn't know any of that shit. Around times I had to deal with this shit again. And look, the area I live in now. Dude, they've been cops. Like there was a problem place that was across the street here. Literally, I don't know if you saw this, but what was it, day 2 that I was moving shit in my biological father. He was helping me move shit with his truck and all that stuff. And there was shouting going on across the fucking street, and we didn't know what it was. We thought maybe it was like a football game or something because that's kind of big around here. Then we kind of realized there's no sports ball going on right now because all that shit's been shut down. We go outside and there's like fucking SWAT outside, and they're dealing with this fucking problem apartment that was there. It's not there. The apartment's still there, but the people who were there, they're not there anymore. And that's a whole nother fucking story. But literally the only goddamn reason the cops would ever show up there in the first place. But no, like cops are outside of my place. Literally happened was it today, I think it either happened today or yesterday. There was this one cop, he's one of the old guys, and I know this because he still has the old Crown Vic.
Oh yeah.
That the cops, yeah. Now everybody's moved on to the Ford Explorers now and all, and the Tahoes and other stuff.
God,
this guy still has the old Chrome Vics.
Dude, my first 2 cars I ever owned were Crown Victorias, man. I love those cars. They're so
those are
easy,
good ones.
they're so easy to work on.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've told my folks now. They've made a lot of questionable automotive decisions, but one of the things they got was a Chevy Tahoe, and I told them, you know what? Me and you guys, we've had fighting words over the cars you guys decide to fucking pick. But you know what? If you need a fucking SUV or something like that, if you're gonna do that, at least get what the fucking cops get, because that shit is a lot easier to maintain. It's more reliable, and that's the reason the cops picked that shit. But had a fucking Crown Vic, the same Crown Vic, I know who this guy is, and I'm pretty sure he knows who the fuck I am now at this point. He was literally sitting outside of my fucking front door. You know what? Walked outside, went to my fucking cars. I don't care that they're there. They don't care that I'm there. But again, context matters. I'm in an area that is fairly low crime, you know. Unless they have reason to show up with fucking AR-15s, which has fucking happened. I've had them literally walk by my fucking car as I'm getting ready to go to work, literally armed with fucking rifles, going to this problem apartment, which isn't a problem anymore.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. LA, kind of the same thing. Hilltop, look it up. It's not as bad as it was way back then, back when my brother was sending me stories of he goes to a house party there and he has to dive into the fucking basement because somebody drove by with a fucking AK and shot at him.
Ooh, spicy.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was kidding about that. No, that shit has happened about 2-3 miles away from where I am now. But no, like all that, a lot of that shit's calmed down. But University Place, still kind of a hotbed for that shit. That's why my my female buddy, she moved out of that area. She now owns a place, quote unquote, in an HOA area. We talked about that at some point. That was one of the reasons she moved out of that area. But the area you're in matters. Okay. Maybe they are profiling. Chances are they probably fucking have to, because that's part of the job. And if they don't, they might get fucking shot.
Yeah, it's
They might not go home. So I can understand, maybe in retrospect, I've gotten pulled by a lot of people in pretty much every area, like Culver City, Santa Monica, all of them. But I understand what they're going through. I understand the job that they signed up to do. So I understand, usually after we're talking, they kind of get my demeanor and all that shit. They're a little bit more relaxed and whatever. I've gotten a lot of breaks as far as that goes. But
that's
it matters.
That's what I was going to say is, like, you don't need to be afraid of police officers, man. Just most of it's a job, man. Just like anything.
Yeah.
And very rarely do they take it personally. I mean, unless you start cussing them out and stuff like that, and but you got to look at it like, what if someone came to your office and started cussing you out and shit?
Exactly. And
doing a job.
You're that specific kind of first responder. You're not responding to a good situation if you're a cop. You're not, even with the fucking the fire department. What is the old joke? They're going to get a cat out of a tree or something, and they're kind of happy to see you. No one's happy to see you if you're calling the cops. It's not a good situation you're responding to.
No, that's what I'm saying. The cops, they don't get to see the best side of people all the time. And
no, the running joke as far as the men's room go here. By the way, a good program.
Day, man. You have to understand. You have to understand. They're human, so sometimes they can have a bad day. Shit can be bothering them and stuff like that, man.
This is why everybody's standing against the thin line, and now they're realizing what authority is now, and that's unfortunate shit, and that's why they're now against it. That whole Jesse Bennett or whoever the fuck it was that got shot in the Capitol, they're finally understanding what initiating force is. It took that for the majority of people to stop backing them. I still back them. you know what? I got no problem with Tacoma PD. I got no problem with Auburn PD or any PD that's in this area. I have had no problem with these guys, even the ones that got pulled over by. Look, you're right. They're humans. They're doing the job, but they take that job because there are going to be bad seeds in any industry. And in no industry, you're going to see bad things happen than in law enforcement because, again, laws, who are they set by? I get that, but the people who fucking take that fucking job, they're putting their fucking lives on, like you did, Bull Rush, like I've done in some lines of things that I've done. You're putting your own fucking self at risk. That takes a certain type of person to fucking do it. And they're doing it for whatever group they're in, their fellow man, whatever. And we talk about law enforcement. For the most part, in practice, but in theory, they're doing it to help their fellow man. That takes a certain type of person. You're not going to see some fucking Antifa person unless it's some, you know, real outlandish example that usually gets elevated in the news. They're going to be decent people who go into that kind of field. And that's what I've seen, you know, whether it's SPD, whether it's APD, whether it's Tacoma PD. Maybe it gets worse. Even the Washington State Patrol, they've been pretty fucking decent as far as I'm concerned. They only act when they need to. And that's, you know, I got no problem with the, you know, the police that are up here. I don't even have problems with a lot of police, you know, as far as what they need to do to get revenue. That's a whole other situation entirely. I could talk about that as well. You know what saturation patrols are?
What?
Saturation patrols.
No.
That is a big thing in California. And one of the reasons that really fucking chaps my head is if I had a big problem with police, that's one of them. And I understand they need to get the revenue from tickets and all this other shit. They started moving that shit into fucking residential neighborhoods, specifically the one that I was in. That's one of the reasons up until I moved out of LA, I stopped driving. I just commuted by bike specifically. But basically, they'll pick one kind of busy street, metropolitan, you know, big boulevard or whatever, and they would just have like 50, 70 units out there, whatever they had available, and it would just pull anyone over for any reason, basically just to give them a ticket. They actually started moving that shit. Inglewood PD, specifically, they actually started doing that shit in residential neighborhoods. Now, it's one thing to do it off of like Crenshaw and Century. Those are major thoroughfares in Inglewood. Century, by the way, goes directly into LAX. They started doing this shit in small ass fucking neighborhoods, like where there's no fucking traffic. So that'll be the biggest gripe I have as far as, you know, police goes. But as far as having real shit to deal with up here, I don't know if you know this, homeless people cause a lot of the fucking problems up here. Maybe some drunk drivers or something, but they have bigger issues to deal with. So they don't fucking care. It's like, if you're just a regular goddamn citizen that's going about their normal business, hell, they'll sit there and just fucking talk to you. I've had many discussions with SPD. That's how I ended up finding about, you know, you don't say the Q word up here. As far as, well, at least as far as Seattle goes, Tacoma and Olympia is a different story. I had actually walked a full uniform and everything that I normally carry with me. You guys notice anything that's been quiet lately? Is like, guy, dude, we don't say, you of all people, they know who I was. You know we don't say the Q word up here because we want to kind of, it's the knock on wood thing, basically. We don't want to jinx things because they're the ones that are going to have to fucking deal with it. So, I guess just to wrap that up, I got no problem with the fucking police. Now, morally, philosophically, probably shouldn't fucking be a thing. That's why we had the militia installed, when we became a country in the first place. I understand that. But the people who actually joined with that, do I think they're going to fucking, if shit really fucking hits the fan here, we're going to have to face off against the feds? My position has always been, some of the police probably will. They might join them. I think most of the police force, they're going to be on our side. Most of the military, probably going to be our side. We've had these discussions just kind of on different Twitter threads and all this shit. Hey, how are you going to face off against the biggest military on earth? You assume they're going to be on the fucking state side. Understand why they fucking took that job in the first fucking place. Like, I don't know. You know what? I'll ask this, and I guess I'll kind of give my thing, and then we'll go ahead and close this out. Why did you join the military?
Why did I join the military?
Yeah.
To get the fuck out of my parents' house. That's why.
I guess the big question is, why did you stay? What? I'm sure camaraderie, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know your history as far as it goes, so feel free to correct me on that. You stayed a little bit longer than the average person does, if they're just going there just for their own benefit. So I'm assuming.
I was only in there for 3 years.
Okay.
Because I got injured.
Oh, that will do it.
Charge. But I was already bought in there, man. I was wanting to sign up for a second term too, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. What was the reason you were going to sign up for a second term?
That's a pretty decent job, and plus I was over there. I was stationed in San Diego, man. Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Oh, well, that will fucking help. Isn't that that's one of the destinations? Like, I think was one of the worst places you can go. Probably not the worst place, but I guess stateside was like some place in Virginia. I think there's a base out there somewhere. Like, people do not want to be stationed out there. But
yeah, I don't know, man. I just
the point I wanted to get at, and you're the guy who's done it. I haven't, so feel free to correct me. People don't get in that job because there's a reason. Get out of your house. You're 17. You want to get out under your parents' thumb. I get that. Or it was that or go to jail. I've heard that's a thing too.
Oh no, I wasn't at risk of doing anything like that. I was just No,
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, that's a reason some people will get into it.
The recruiters actually told me to come back and go back to college, because I had already by the time I graduated high school, I already had my freshman year of college out of the way.
Nice.
So if I went back to college, I would have gone in as a sophomore, and the recruiters were like, "Man, go back to school for a while." I'm like, "My fucking parents ain't got no money, dude."
Shit, but you know what? The type of person who would take on that kind of thing, where literally, okay, it's one thing to go work at McDonald's. There is a chance you might get shot there. More guaranteed chance you're going to get shot if you're in the fucking military, especially if you get deployed to the front lines. It's the type of person that's going to take the kind of job on.
I really didn't think about shit like that when I was at that age. I thought I was Superman.
We all do. Trust me, I'm no exception. Hell, I still think of Superman now.
I mean, you think about that stuff, but not really.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck.
But that kind of person that's going to take that kind of risk, whether you think you're Superman or not, you're taking that risk you're taking an oath to protect your fucking country. So I don't think that kind of person is going to just go ahead. Some people will. I don't think most of the military maybe at least half. And most police more localized, I think. Once you start getting more statewide and federal, I think it gets worse as far as that goes. Like if we start going toward straight fucking communism or fascism, whatever the fuck the word is these days, I don't think those people live in the real fucking world, because they kind of have to. If they don't, they fucking die, or they suffer real world consequences. That's what I'm getting at.
No.
If that makes any sense, I don't think these people are going to go for that. And so I understand why people are going against the blue line, because they're finally starting to understand what statism is and all that shit. They're finally starting to get it. By the way, it took all of this shit to fucking happen. Not the whole fucking last 4 years or so, let alone, I don't know, the last 200 fucking years to get it. But at least they're starting to understand. I don't think the people who are actually on the business end of the fucking guns, I don't think, look, they're like you, they want to be left alone. They want to be free to do their own fucking things. And so I don't think they're going to go along with what everyone else thinks is going to happen. That's just my thing. I could be completely wrong. I'm always open to that. Maybe all the police are gonna go fucking goose step right along with the rest of humanity. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Based on the conversations I've had with people, based on the people who have actually dealt with world shit like this, you and me and some of the other people I talk to and others, I don't think that's gonna happen. They got shit to lose. Usually they have fucking, a wife and kids. No, even the fucking female officers who may have a husband and kids, they're fucking them with like, nah, I don't endorse this tyranny at all. No, if it comes to it, I'm gonna fucking fight back. I think that's what's gonna. Worst case scenario, it will be another fucking civil war. And based on some of my fucking experiences that I've had, with these fucking idiots, that I can guarantee have never taken a punch in the face, let alone any fucking real war consequences. Oh, fucking mass shit. Tell you this is something I'm gonna actually call about this tomorrow. My industry, you want to know one of the best places you can go just to hang out and has actually been pretty lucrative?
What's that?
McDonald's.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, that's one of these, like, after about 10 o'clock or so, not getting any orders, and by the way, get paid per order. No matter what the app or the website or whoever says, or this busy here, busy work, go to McDonald's. You will get money coming through there. And usually McDonald's, they're pretty good. The fast food, they've been pretty good at dealing with this shit, because that's pretty much their bread and butter. They have the shit ready to go. Even if the line is busy there, you don't even have to get out of the car. You don't have to wear a fucking mask or respirator for the most part to go pick shit up there. They're pretty cool. They know what the fuck they're doing. Last order I had there, this is like the third time I went there that night, and I've been going there. This is the one that's it's in Seattle Center. It's literally about a block or two from the Space Needle. And I go there. I'm picking up an order or whatever. There's somebody there, and then this fucking Indian manager comes up, and he goes full fucking retard about the fucking mask thing. Come on, I am full uniform. I just don't have like the respirator up or anything. Like, so I'm just kind of talking, kind of, well, with the glasses on, but whatever. So I'm in danger as employees and all this other shit goes up about all this other thing. Now, okay, if this is a policy, I wasn't even aware of it, but let's say for the sake of argument, it was. So I'm violating it. Okay. Dude was completely fucking unprofessional about this shit. And even after, like, dude, I'm in my car. I'm in my own fucking thing. So, should be okay. And he goes off with this whole fucking other things. Like, we know which car you're in now. We're never gonna service you again, and goes full fucking re. Like that point, like we fight. And the only reason I wasn't waiting for this fucker after the goddamn McDonald's closed is because he would have had my goddamn plates match because I was on camera. Every place right there, you're on camera. So that's the only reason I wasn't waiting for his ass outside after his fucking store closed.
Mm.
Oh, you've given me shit for not doing that before? No, I would have fucking done it. I'd have been waiting right fucking there outside, waiting for his ass to come outside. People like that, those are the people that I'm worried about. People who are doing shit like that. Military, not so much. Now, this guy, no, I'm going to call in tomorrow. I should have called in a few days, but no. I had shit happen, and I had other priorities. This is kind of low on that. And there's other places I can work, and I can pull in money. That's fine. No, that's important. You know what? I know this is kind of guy. He's going to try to get me fired. He already tried. I filed an incident report that fucking night because I wanted to get ahead of that shit. Like, no, this motherfucker, this guy just come out. And I had never seen this guy before, ever. I don't know who the fuck he was. I'm gonna find this guy. I'm gonna make sure his ass gets fired first. Oh wait, again, I'm one of the top guys in my fucking field out here. There's a reason I get away with a lot of the shit that I do anyways. That guy ain't taking a bullet for the fucking country, though. People like you were fucking willing to, whether you acknowledged it or not. You were willing to. In fact, that's what you signed up for. And so I'm not worried about that shit. Will Civil War come? You know what? The right people are going to be on our side. That's what I see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, we never have to find out. That's all I got to say about that. You know. I'm out of cigar.
Damn.
Yeah, just the one. Hey, you know what? I am glad I came into 21 with quite a bit of savings, which you followed me. Shit has been hard around here. Shit was hard around here around 2020. There was points where I couldn't even fucking get groceries, but I fucking worked through it, and I am now. This is something I actually talked to, the folks and the new friend that finally got back to. I'm actually looking. I actually make investments. I can put my money in different things where it's actually starting to make money for me instead of me paying to actually park my money there. Fuck, that's one thing. Dude, you want to know how much money I made tonight after I went to work?
How much?
I'm totally $13. That was it.
What?
Yep. Turns out I wasn't that busy once I got to work. Apparently it was busy earlier tonight, which I could have made pretty decent money tonight.
Is that like a normal thing or what?
No, it's not. And that's probably I think it's the lowest I've ever made in any one shift ever. But I knew that going in. I went to my folks' place because, again, no effective money. I have money, but can't spend it because, card's gone, canceled, got to wait for new ones. So I went there to go get money so I can get gas so I can keep working. Well, I hung out with there. I watched the Seahawks versus the Rams. The Seahawks are out of the season. By the way, they've been running spots on the local radio station. That one of the guys who I know, he does spots for KSW 99.9. Literally, first game they get knocked out. And you know what? I'll give Malcolm. He's the voice of KSW. Give him credit because they had a spot out literally as I was on my way into Seattle. Like Oh, well, we gave it a great fucking run. He had to have been up for that. By the way, he lives in San Diego, so you know. So he's on the same time zone. I guess they had to fucking get that up and running real fucking quick after they fucking lost. So I watched the game with them. I went to go hang out with my newfound sort of buddy that I met a long time ago, but we finally cut back up again. We talked about a whole lot of different things. She's I've been doing more consults as far as personal training goes. She's back on that train. She's working on that, and she's actually making a lot of the right moves as far as that goes and other things. And a lot of other shit that I've been going through is just financial wise. She is not doing the greatest as far as finances goes, but like I told her and other people, and one other thing I want to throw in here. There's people you haven't talked to in a while, you know, and you didn't leave on the worst of terms. Hell, just fucking reach out to them. That's how I ended up getting back in contact with her in the first place. You know, the whole Christmas thing. I don't know if I sent you a message, but I sent a lot of messages over, you know, just all my old contacts and stuff. Hey, you know, Merry Christmas, hope all is well. Sometimes, you know, I shit you not, because I've talked the barrel out of people's mouths. Sometimes that stops us from putting a fucking gun in their mouths and pulling the trigger. I've literally been there. And that's how I got back in contact with her, and she's been real happy about that, and we hung out there for a while, but, you know, she's doing shit, but at least she, unlike all the other fucking gurus on Twitter, at least she's fucking doing something about it.
Good for her.
Yeah. I pointed that out. I told her about that shit. I got no problem telling her about. She's known me for she knows the kind of person I am. And all these people who are like red pill and they want to get the girls, and oh my god, the girls on TikTok earning money because the guys are throwing money, and what are we gonna do about it? First of all, fine, let them. I'm 100% in support of that. Get the fucking money. And she even works in the public sector. Now, I'm not mad at her for that. She makes good money doing that. Take the fucking money. Yep. She's working a whole lot of shit. She's made mistakes that I pointed out to her mistakes, and now she realizes it. Oh God, do I ever get things right here every once in a while ahead of time? You know, starting to notice the theme here. Maybe more people listened. Eventually, you just get proven right. It just takes time, but you know what? She's out. She's doing shit. She's getting it done. She's at least working on it. So I'll do what I can to help her. And other people who will listen. Whatever. That's at least she's doing something. You know. And that's the kind of thing I appreciate. You boys, you're doing stuff out there. By the way, I don't know if you heard earlier. Next few weeks or so, I'll get a cocktail. I'm gonna get a razor or something from you. I don't know how often I'll use it, but I will definitely go. It's been a long time coming, and you know why I haven't gotten is because I went through all kinds of hell.
That's fine. I got a couple laying around here still.
I'll get one from you.
Yeah.
I don't think you have one. You know my themes. What is it? Kind of dark red and black or something. You had a couple that were like that. I was like, Jesus, I wish I could get one of those. Definitely, like that's just my kind of thing. I like getting those stuff like that. Yeah, I can imagine because they're nice looking razors. I'll get one. I'm just glad the fact that I can actually at least entertain it now, let alone all the other things that I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I guess what I meant to say with that, you know, reach out to other people. You know, they may be going through shit like that, but even if you're going through shit like that, you've gone through it. I just went through it. Keep working at it. Shit gets better, and so long as you keep working through it, you will get you will get yourself in a better place. Literally, you know, I said, you know, what was it? I made $13, and I knew I was getting myself into that. I know it was going to be a busy night, and hell, I just went ahead and spent time with other people because it was going to be a better expenditure of my time. You always make more money. You can't get time back that you didn't spend with the people that you wanted to spend it with. And that's why I did what I did. Now, drove all the way back into Seattle out of Puyallup and whatever and came back. Guess what? Those all tax write-off miles because I worked that night. So it ends up being a profit anyways. You look at it that way. Well, you know what? Hey, this shit gets better. Sorry, you're going to say?
No, I'm just trying to count. Math is hard.
It is. That's my theme for this year, actually. Last year's theme was, it was a cleansing fire, and I'm speaking to you from a new apartment. Well, same car, but a whole lot of other shits happened that lost a whole lot of what I thought were friends. Got rid of a whole lot of shit and upgraded to a whole lot of other new things. But you know what? It was shit that needed to happen. 2020 was... That's what showed you what was real and what wasn't, what was on your side and what wasn't. And hopefully if you acted on that, you figured that out and you acted on that. Again, you know, as I said before, if you were waiting on a calendar year to change your life, you wasted your fucking time. You should have been working on that the entire fucking time. And whether I fucked up or not, well, that's part of growing anyways. That's what I did. And now I'm starting to finally see the fucking fruits of labor, and I'm happy to see that. This year, they popcorn eliminate. Popcorn for all the shit that you can't control. Eliminate. It's basically is turning negatives into a positive. Okay, my whole fucking wallet thing, it fucking disappears for reasons. I still swear to this day, I had it when I came back home, and it was fucking gone. Later, despite my pants never leaving the area, the only reason I fucking knew it was gone was because I decided to switch pants. Okay, so I didn't work that night. I had 1 day's worth of gas of work left. It was better to spend that on Friday and take the risk. By the way, almost came to a fucking camping trip because literally right before I was going to go home, unlocked my car and the fucking key broke off in the damn lock. I'm like, for real? So now I'm locked out of my fucking car. Long story short, a lesson I learned in 2015 about always having spares kind of came in. Wasn't able to get the key extracted, but I was able to kind of bully it open. Had a spare that I could use in the damn initial line, which the key, you know, the lock to get in the car, you can actually just use a fucking screwdriver to turn it over. I was the second person to find that out. The person who broke into my car at my old place was the first person to find that out. We ended up losing a bunch of shit. That was years ago. But yeah, the initial lock, you kind of have to have the actual key. Luckily, I had the original key that the car came with. So, hey, talk about, you know, when life is trying to tell you something. Hey, go home and drink. Okay, I'm listening. See ya. Bye. I'm out of here. Not busy anyways. But, yeah. You work long enough, this shit gets better. And that's something, you know what? That negative as far as the wallet goes, okay, I lost a wallet. First of all, I shouldn't have had it in that pocket that it was lost out of anyways. Now I know where to put it. Now I know not just to have cash in that wallet, which I ended up losing. I had like 50, 60 bucks in there. Okay, maybe I'll lose 80, maybe $90 because I need to replace the wallet too because it was a really good wallet. I'd rather lose that than the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 I could have lost if somebody, I don't know, had pickpocketed me and started using my cards or something. I'd rather take that lesson right now, you know, and lesson learned. Hey, have money at home just in case that kind of shit happens. Put it in a better fucking pocket. If you put it in the pocket at all, maybe have a chain attached to it. I don't know. Because I don't know about you. My wallet, you know, it rarely goes with, you know, outside of 5 feet of wherever the fucking pants they were attached to is usually mounted. So, no reason not to have it attached to there just in case. But I learned a lot through that. And look, sometimes that's all you can do. The incident that ended up with me in this much better fucking place that's a lot cheaper, much better neighbors, much more defensible. That came from a life lesson. It sucked trying to find a new place after what was a good place that I was in. But I ended up finding a much better place instead. What was it? As far as the car goes, they have fucked up the clutch or something, and it ended up leading to me finding who I call the wizard, who ended up having to engineer a fucking solution for my goddamn transmission system at pretty much market rate prices, even though he charges more per hour. He's a lot more efficient and finds shit that other people probably wouldn't have thought of, myself included. And I'm pretty fucking good at engineering. He's way beyond me as far as that goes. Like, I wouldn't have found that if things hadn't gone wrong. So that's how I'm taking this year. You know what? It's all eliminate. Take your negatives, make them into positives, and that requires your fucking action. Again, if you aren't willing to work in your life, nobody else is going to be. So you do with that what you will.
There you go.
I don't know. You got anything to add on that?
Not really. I got to get going though.
I'm out of here too. I got food to eat.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, Bull Rush. Always glad to have you on.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. Everybody stay ready. Again, just leave you this message. You know, nobody's going to work in your life if you're not willing to. So until next time.
Can I flip off your audience? I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck them.
Go right ahead. So, hey, either you fuck off or you fuck her. Either way, you're right. Stay free, keep it tactical, and until next time, be chaos, my friends.